morning. Good morning, guys. Happy Pancake Day. Love a Pancake Day. But it is it's Tuesday the 13th of February. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. You've got amazing lit hosts today, of which I am one of them, your favorite shade queen, my own realty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst. And of course, the melanin is jam-packed.
That is right.
Hello. Queen of BOE is back in the building.
Nice to have you back. Nice to have you.
Is that right?
Thank you. Brent loves me. Brent loves me. He just shows it in hate. He just shows it in hate.
You just be acting up.
Yeah, he be acting up.
Somebody said that I have
Mike, can't hear you, Mike.
yeah,
Ren is sorting out his mic. Just give him a second.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody said that you seem to have a strange affinity to me or towards me.
As in you have it towards Christy or Christy has it towards you?
She has it towards me. I'm like,
I have a strange affinity towards you.
yeah.
In what
I told
world?
you that.
Like they couldn't place what it was. I said I've known her for a long while, and she's very good people, and her principles are solid. So why wouldn't I take to her? And why would she take to me? You know?
Strange affinity.
I
I don't know how to take that.
That's.
What's happening to me?
I didn't explore. I didn't want them to tell me something that.
You didn't want to hear?
Yeah.
The hard truth.
What's the hard truth?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Is that right?
That's the
Good
energy I
morning,
want today.
Carrie Ann. Good morning, Vaughn. Good morning, Chijoke. Good morning, Timmy. Timmy has Prince of BOE. Have you?
Prince of
allowed
BOE.
him- Did he consult you for that?
I mean, he didn't really consult, but
Should consult then.
Should I ban him?
no. I'm black over everything. So
Do you want me to block him at least?
no. Timmy's cool people.
All right then.
I like that he takes that stance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair, actually.
Right
Yeah.
then. Good morning, Imi. Good morning, Everest. Good morning, Fanan. Good morning, Christy. Okay. Good morning, Drew Dogs.
So dumb.
Good morning, Star Crow. Good morning,
Croydon.
Tijoke. Good morning, Oyen B. Good morning, Josie Oggers.
Who?
Josie Oggers. Oggers. Good morning,
Okay.
Izzy Bambino. Good morning, Ghana Greatness. Good
Oh,
morning.
that's a nice name.
Ghana Greatness?
Yeah.
I think you said that yesterday too.
Yeah, I'm always going to say it.
Okay.
I forget things.
Good morning, Crud Crew. Yes, you do. Good morning, Davina.
All right, calm down. Egg.
How's the little bubs, Davina? How's
Are you
everything
asking me?
going?
Asking, excuse me?
How's your health? Let us know.
Big up to Vina.
Mm-hmm.
I've opened up the no, I haven't opened up the hotline. I've set the stage in Discord. So when it is that we do open up the hotline, you guys can wander on over there and put your hand up if you want to join us on mic.
You don't jinx it. I was going to do something a second ago. I forgot now.
Oh, serious? Still
Yeah.
forgot.
Would you?
I said still forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, how's everyone though?
All good.
Just tired.
Come on. I don't even want to say anything about it. That's it. No, I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah.
You chef by me.
Listen.
Chef bug me?
Oh, that was good actually.
Yeah. What did it mean?
Work wants to finish me. Wants to kill me.
Oh, serious? Jeez. Can
It's
you do that,
been-
Emmanuel?
Yeah, of course, man.
As in, can you
I've
talk
never
like
heard
that?
this man speak Yoruba, you know. Go on.
Do you know why? It's my secret power.
Excuse you?
This is how I maneuver into different spaces.
Do you know what? Put the headlines on. I'm doing this. Of what things I'm not doing today, this is what I'm What?
All right, so our first headline. President Joe Biden's 2024 presidential campaign has joined TikTok, despite sources, I should say, saying last year that the campaign wouldn't formally use the social media platform. Remember when they banned everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the account is being run by campaign staff who will be posting content regularly, as the campaign does on other social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, X, and Threads. Addressing concerns over the security risks associated with the platform, Biden campaign advisors also said that they are taking advanced safety precautions around our devices and incorporating a sophisticated security protocol to ensure security. The president's TikTok debut last night, with close to 5 million views and counting, is proof positive of both our commitment and success in finding new, innovative ways to reach voters in an evolving, fragmented, and increasingly personalized media environment. This is according to Rob Flaherty, who's Biden's deputy campaign manager. Next headline. Remember yesterday we were talking about that guy, Mr. Azhar Ali, who made the comments about Israel, the Labour by-election guy.
Yeah.
Well, the Labour Party has withdrawn support of him, man. So yeah, and apparently they're not even gonna. They have no one to even replace him. They just rather him not be there, right? So it's understood that Mr. Azhar Ali has also been suspended from the party pending an investigation. Mr. Ali's candidacy had been thrown into the spotlight after the Mail on Sunday reported that he had told a meeting of a Lancashire Labour Party that Israel deliberately allowed the Hamas atrocity to take place in order to give it the green light to invade Gaza. Mr. Ali had earlier issued an unreserved apology for the deeply offensive, ignorant and false comments, but Sir Keir Starmer had been under pressure to act due to promises that he had made to get rid of anti-Semitism throughout the Labour Party. So the sacking of Azhar Ali as Labour's candidate in the Rochdale by-election is the biggest disaster for Sir Keir Starmer in his nearly 4 years as leader of the party. There will now be an almighty inquest into how a candidate who had made such comments about Israel and Gaza was selected, for such a high-profile by-election.
Do they the party even mess with Starmer?
Because I feel like, you know?
Because I feel like, I mean, I could be hypothesizing, but I feel like more of them are in support of Palestine, and he's not.
I think you might be right. Or, you know what, because a lot of people are scared to kind of talk out too, you may not know, innit? But I don't know, I get the vibe that it's 50-50 as well. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of them are scared to say certain things. Because obviously, look at him now. You know, although he did go a step too far,
Yeah.
he spoke like a civilian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be saying this if you're in that position, man. But our next headline takes us back to the US, where the ex-US President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to suspend a lower court ruling that he does not have presidential immunity from prosecution. He had claimed in his election interference case that he could not be tried for acts carried out as a president. 3 lower courts judges disagreed, ruling that he can be prosecuted like any other citizen. But Mr. Trump's lawyers said that he should not be tried during an election campaign. So Trump's attorney wrote in the filing that conducting a months-long criminal trial of President Trump at the height of an election season will radically disrupt President Trump's ability to campaign against President Biden. The Supreme Court will now decide if it will put the ruling on hold to allow Mr. Trump to appeal. The conservative majority top court granting the request would lead to a long delay in the landmark criminal case alleging that Mr. Trump plotted to illegally overturn the 2020 election, possibly until after the November election. However, if the Supreme Court declines to put the ruling on pause, the federal trial overseen by the judge, Tanya Chutkan, will be scheduled likely for spring. It's almost like he's not going to do anything, because I don't see him winning, if he does winning the election and then them doing anything about it whilst he's president. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into what you're saying topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, I think this will be a good one since you're here, Christy. And this one was submitted by a good brother by the name of Mo. You guys know him as Senegalese Mo. And you know, every single time he drops topic of the day, all of them are on point, man. So this particular one, the question is, what are the larger implications for intercultural and interreligious dating?
I wouldn't know. I don't do it. Ciao.
But I'm going to read a bit more of what he basically put forth, right? So he said, given that for immigrants, multiple generations before have been raised under a certain culture or religion, are we obliged to keep our cultures going? And if we are, can this be done in a framework within intercultural relationships? That's the first thing, right? Do interracial relationships have any correlation with social class? Do you notice that the richer or poorer people become, the more open they are to date outside of their culture or religion? Are there large implications to intercultural relationships that outweigh the importance of love? Let's start there. What do you guys think?
Is it interculture? Is that like within Black or externally? No, that's interracial, isn't it?
Yeah.
So culture is still Black, but
You could,
different
other
cultures.
cultures, yeah.
I think it's possible to do it. I think you can navigate it. Like my brother, he's married to a Ghanaian woman, and my niece understands she's Yoruba and she's from Ashanti, and she understands both languages. She likes both foods. She's yet to go to Nigeria, but she's been to Ghana. So it's possible, but it has to be, it's about the parents. If the parents are cultural, then you will be able to pass your culture on to your children. If you're not, that's where it gets lost. So I think it's possible. I think it is possible to do that.
Does it depend on the cultures though?
Yeah, because some cultures are very similar. Like Nigerian culture and Ghanaian culture is not, it's not a massive difference like that. Yeah, I would say I think so. But I think even if it is like a massive differences, I still think you can do it. It's about the intention of the parents.
So you don't think there'll be, because you know this may not be the same thing to say, but you know a lot of people have this idea that, you know, mixed race people, let's just say black and white children, they grew up confused or this, that, and the third. Can that also be said about people from different cultures, that they grew up confused as well?
Nah, because mixed race people grow up confused in cases where they don't know their roots, they don't know where they come from. That's where the confusion comes from, where you come from. You feel like you're lost. But if you let your kids know their heritage, let them know about their culture, teach them all that stuff, they wouldn't have a sense of loss. If anything, it's like they've got a sense of belonging to two cultures, which, if anything, will feel more like a blessing, if anything. But yeah.
But then does that mean the parents have to be intentional then? Because you can just have kids with somebody or marry
that's what I said.
somebody.
Yeah, the parents have to be intentional. It all comes down to the parents being intentional.
Yeah, and I think it all depends on, depending on the culture, because I feel like certain culture is going to swallow up another one. Because I know I've got a friend, her brother, obviously he's Yoruba, but his partner, I think she's from like St. Lucia or something like that, but he brings up the children like they're fully Nigerian. Like there's not even and even the way they come across, like one of the kids got Yoruba name, one hasn't, but when you ask them, they will tell you they're Nigerian. So I think that can also tend to happen when it's depending on as the parent, that could happen. Because I know like generally like Yorubas have takeover spirit. So
100%.
one is going to take precedence, I feel like, over the other. And if it doesn't, there can be a clash when, you know, that can cause an issue if there's like a clash.
Okay. So do you think it's mainly, if it was African cultures getting together with Caribbean cultures, for example, do you think that in most cases the African culture will kind of be more prominent? Or is it dependent on if it's the man or the woman?
I think it's dependent it depends, you know. Again, because like the person I use as an example, like he's very like culturally aware, like he's very like rooted in his Yoruba culture and stuff like that. So that like he's not shifting basically. Not to say that he wouldn't want he doesn't want his children to know like be knowledgeable about St. Lucian or stuff like that, but it's one of the ones if the mum is being passive about it, he's not gonna push for it.
Yeah. Okay. Brent, what do you think?
What's the question?
Intercultural relationships. What are the wider implications? Do you feel like it can work?
Yes.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Elaborate on what?
So, all right. So, watch this. Given that for immigrants, multiple generations, multiple generations before have been raised under a certain culture or religion, are we obliged to keep our cultures going? And if it is that we, choose to keep our cultures going, can it exist in a framework within intercultural relationships?
I don't know how to answer this question. If I don't know much about your Yoruba culture, right? But if my wife insists on keeping every single thing that her culture has to offer when she brings her beautiful body to the table,
Okay. So,
is that going to be beautiful? It's going to be splendid.
my friend, just answer the question. So dramatic.
Would it be a problem with me? I would need to find out what your culture is saying. What are the things that she's saying that she can't, that she has to practice that may conflict with my Christianity?
It's Christian Yorubas, man.
Barely.
Because my West Indian culture ain't gonna have no conflict. There's gonna be no conflict
With what?
with anything, with anybody. We are peaceful people.
But then
Our
it's,
culture's a peaceful practice.
is. But then, are you kind of homogenizing all Caribbean
I am
cultures?
100%. I am homogenizing my Trinidadian culture. I'm not seeing any conflicting practices that we have that will edge anybody, any race, any religion. I don't know, but I'm not sure about Yoruba. Hence me asking you.
Yeah, Yoruba culture 100%.
All right, then I'll have a problem. I'll have a problem because my Christianity is everything. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is that you can call that culture.
What?
My Christianity, I don't know if it is you can call that culture. You asked me about intercultural.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
my Trinidadian culture. It's not. There's no madness there. Quote unquote madness.
Well,
I knew he was gonna emphasize that.
Obviously, my fingers are on the switcher, so I can't do this.
Well, we'll get onto the interracial, the interreligious part of it. But like, so in terms of cultures, I think you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head, man. Like in terms of, I feel like it depends definitely on the culture. You know what I'm saying, that you belong to, and if you even want to keep it, if you care to pass it on,
This is the thing.
you know what I'm saying, and how much of it you're willing to pass on.
But I think nowadays it's so much more popular now. Like
Yeah, that's true.
there's so much interculture. I feel like you're gonna get a half Nigerian, half Jamaican,
Yeah,
half Ghanaian, half Nigerian. There's a lot of there's a lot, to be honest, compared to like I'm comparing like to like my secondary school days to now. There's like you'll come across so many people say I'm half this, I'm half that,
yeah,
kind of thing.
that's true.
So I feel like now it's not really a thing. Whereas like growing up, like I remember like when I was in secondary school, I remember there was a guy who was the Ghanaian, is it Ghanaian dad and Nigerian mum, and that to me was so like the minority to me. Like I was like, wow, like that, because that wasn't really a thing. Like especially knowing how Yorubas are. Like, Yorubas are mostly sticking to Yorubas, so even going across the outer Igbo land, this mate back then was
That's
like
yeah, back then, girl. That's still
Even
me.
now, isn't it?
no, but I feel like again it's even more. I feel like there's more even mixing with going across the outer
Yeah,
Igbo
there's-
land
yeah, there's a lot now.
than it was before.
It's very common now.
Before,
Actually,
Like, come on, before it was kind of like,
Then before
why
you
are you
stick
going
to your
there?
own, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why are you going there?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
they were also like, why are you going there? Like, it wasn't. It was kind of like don't. Go, It was kind of frowned upon, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Yeah, it was.
Rob says, will Brent be alright with Dabale to his
Dabale.
future parents-in-law? What's that?
It basically, it's how you greet them. You prostrate on the floor.
Yeah, I'm minding that.
Yeah, but you would.
I said I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, Brendan's not like that.
Yeah.
it all depends on how your partner
Yeah,
is willing to even are they like, if they respect you, then I would have thought they would respect your culture, like
I
you're
think
coming
it's so
from.
important.
Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like those conversations should be had beforehand.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, when we get into this, we can't be doing every
Guess what you're doing at my wedding, boy? You're doing press ups. So
what?
you better.
Considering that I'm doing a traditional wedding, like FD other thing, I'm doing the traditional wedding. We're gonna do all the circumstance. We're gonna do
The
everything.
rigmarole.
We're gonna do every single thing. So if I'm now gonna venture outside of someone who's not Yoruba, and they're gonna have an issue, they're gonna. Wait.
How soon would you try and find out if this guy is willing to do this if he wasn't a Yoruba man?
You gotta have
from the
talking stage.
Mate,
Like,
from the
when
very
we're
beginning.
on the
So that's
phone for
something that will be
hours.
in your head. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
After you ask him what's a Cassell.
Yeah,
Of course.
After you ask him about, ask him how the sex.
Asking about your status. What are you talking about?
After asking if he's married, there's certain questions that you run through at the beginning. I don't like my time wasted. So let's just run through this now. Let's know where we're going. So I know if I'm getting off here, or if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think that's very, very important. But you can also tell by people's attitudes to your culture. When you talk about stuff to your culture, you can tell by like how they respond and stuff like that.
Because I remember, like in the past, especially, look, even a couple people in the chat are saying it now. Even our good friend Fernand saying it.
I can't prostrate to no
SLM
human.
86. People say, no, I can't prostrate to no human.
Yeah, but,
the kind of men
they're not good.
they're the kind of men you don't marry, respectfully, as a Nigerian woman. Before you come and start fighting.
Yeah, like you know, what's oh my god, that show, Brent, what's his name show? And he got commissioned to Channel 4.
Dream Wise Back.
No, is it Blue Therapy? Yeah, it was Blue Therapy, isn't it? Andy show. Yeah, you got remember? Yeah, like there was a whole thing. Like there was a couple on there. Obviously, I don't know how of which it was.
Actors.
No, I think they were definitely exaggerated. I think they were making up problems, but I think there was demonstrating. One was, I think he was, I don't know if he was Chinese. I don't know, Philippines, something.
Oh, okay.
And then she was even half. So she was Jamaican and Yoruba. So her dad was very like, is very traditional and very like much a part of her life. So she was just like, when we get like we're having a wedding, there's gonna be this many people. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. The Chinese guy's like, I'm not doing that.
You see?
He's like, I'm not doing that. He's
And
like,
that's okay, you know. That no one that's actually okay. To say you don't want to do it, that's fine. But
he didn't want to eat the food. He don't want to like.
Okay, he's just.
Yeah, he was like.
If you hate me, just say that.
It was a whole thing, and I was just sitting there thinking,
you should go ahead with him.
First off, they had a child together already, so that's another thing. So they had a child, so it's just like.
Yeah.
Like,
why
how is this now an issue? Like, and he was like, oh, because she wanted to get married. Like, she wanted the wedding or whatever, but he was like postponing and stuff. He's like, I don't want this kind of wedding and blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, my dad's family are gonna, like, they're coming from Nigeria, whatever. Her mum was saying, yeah, like, even her mum was even saying, her dad is not gonna have this. Like,
Do you know what's so interesting?
this
though?
is gonna happen.
I think the reason why sometimes people miss out on these, that people don't talk about these things is because it just seems so obvious. Like it seems very like it doesn't seem like there's a problem because we're used to it, and because people that you have conversations with, they have the same mindset as you. So sometimes certain things you don't think to ask a person because, of course, for example, sometimes right when I speak to a guy, I always ask men if they're married, and sometimes they'll be like, yeah, and I'm like, so had I not asked, we would have just been here. Because in my mind, of course, you're not going to have a wife at home and be talking to me.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Do you get me?
Yeah,
but then you have to, what I've learned, you have to ask every single thing. Hell, you might have to ask them if they're black. You might have a mask on. Do you get me? So I think for some people, like, it's just so obvious. But then I think people as well don't understand that for someone who's not part of the culture, it can look weird. Because it's not their culture, so they don't understand that. So when people are like, "Oh, I'm not bowing down to any man," we didn't say bow down and say, "Oh, hail the Yoruba man." It's a sign of respect that we do in our culture. Like, but because they don't have that in their culture, it's weird to them. Do you get what I mean? It's like the same way, like, because I remember one of my friends from sixth form. She's Jamaican. I thought she was my first Jamaican friend. Yeah, but she was so obviously my culture. I'm not calling her parents by their name. That's disgusting. So I'm calling them auntie and uncle. But because she's been around like Nigerians and so she knows that with my mum, she can't call my mum Sarah. She has to call my mum auntie and uncle. So she understood why I was calling them that and obviously let her parents know she's Nigerian and this is a sign of respect. But she was like, otherwise, it would be weird for her parents. You're calling them auntie and uncle. They're not your auntie. Like, you're not their niece kind of thing. So sometimes the cultures that you just have to kind of explain it. But I think I'm open to explaining stuff. I mean, if I was to be open to Well, to be fair, I found myself in a couple of situations a couple of times. But if it is a thing of what's the word? Cultural dating and whatnot, you just have to kind of explain. And I think when you then explain and you see what the attitude is like and whether that's something they're receptive to, I don't hate you for that, but this won't work because it just doesn't work. And it doesn't stop here. If you don't want to have kids and stuff, in the way they do the naming ceremony sometimes, in the circumcision, like all these things cause problems down the line.
It's true.
You want to have I feel like conversations that feel very obvious to you, still have it.
Yeah, imagine tribal marks were still on the table.
That's ground for divorce. People are getting divorced all over the gaff.
What?
Tribal marks.
Yeah.
Now that fight would be, because you know the way couples are fighting over circumcision.
Yeah, that's true.
Tribal marks.
Why are they doing that though? It's only
Yeah, no,
one-
there's a fight over that.
But just do the thing. It's the only
No, but they just be like,
civilized thing to do.
Some of it,
It's mutilating.
Yeah, mutilating the child. Like, why are you
Get
putting
outta
the
here.
the
gonna
child
be
through
dirty.
that? Yeah, so that's the thing.
You're
But
doing him a favor when he grows up, trust me.
for me personally, but I can't. I mean, I've come to realization that I'm not going to do that intercultural thing. I was entertaining it for.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
I said, let me just, let me not, let me
Igbo men are
expand.
fine.
Let me just
Yeah.
let me just expand, my horizons a bit, not because if you ask my friends before, they know the Christy's straight, like all thingy. So I was like, you know what?
Oh, you're talking about race, you're talking about...
Not please, no. I said interculturally.
Prince, change your name to King
Please, please. No. I said interculturally. So
Oh, okay.
I was like, you know what? I don't mind. But it was only it was like there was, I don't know what I was watching. Do you know what? I was actually watching I was watching what's her name? Fisayo, the Kai.
Fisayo
and they're
from Kai Collective.
Kai Collective and Tony and
yeah.
and I can't lie to you, I was watching that. Yeah, Esther, I was
you
like
Tony
a
and her
fool.
man?
I was like a fool.
Did
You
you
would think
Tony Tone?
you would think that was related to me. The way I was smiling because both of them are Yoruba. Like
And they
both
just
partners
get it.
Both partners, like Fisayo's partner was Yoruba, Tony, and the way they was just.
It's the banter. It's just, I can't miss out
I
on it.
literally, after watching that,
It's so beautiful,
I
man.
said, "Fuck this shit." I'm sorry. I said, "Fuck this." No,
She didn't even
I
try.
need this.
She didn't
I
even
said,
try,
"No, I need this." I said, "I need this." Like, I don't know what I was like. Christy, why would you fooling yourself?
Yeah, you gotta know yourself.
Why
I
would you
know
fooling
myself.
yourself? You know what you really want. You want this.
Yeah.
So for me personally, that's important. So I know for me, if I even did the whole intercultural, it would be a problem for my partner. There would be a clash.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm heavily imposing my culture. Like I'm not moving, I'm not bending. Obviously but the thing is I don't know what compromising there would be, because like if we're saying we're gonna go to the wedding party and you're not doing, you said you're not gonna do, and I want a traditional wedding, then what are we doing here?
That's crazy.
I don't know what we would compromise on. So for me, let me just know myself in it. I know that I'm not doing that level of bending. So unfortunately, so it just wouldn't work for me.
What about those who would say, but if you're married to a different culture, for example, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get another rich culture that can kind of supplement your, your children go into the world, being able to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice. That's nice for them. And it's been beautiful. I've seen it. It's beautiful. But it's
I just think it's one of the things where like you're either made for it or you're not made for it.
Yeah.
I know myself. Like I know what I see, what I like to see, and I think because I'm so like I just love my culture so much. Like I've made a intentional thing now to go back to Nigeria often. But so do you know what I mean that my culture just means that much to me, and I think it just makes it easier. Yeah. I feel like if like that's my preference. That's always gonna be my preference. But obviously there are other things as well that in a way can trump it. Okay. But I serve a living God, so God can do both. Because obviously I want do you know what I mean? Like I want a Christian man. So if it was Christian and Congolese, actually maybe wrong people, sorry. Christian and Gambian, what would that situation be? But then I know God can do Christian and a Yoruba man. So
half of the Yoruba men are Christians, man.
It's debatable.
There's there was a because there was a time when obviously because you know the Yoruba PR men like you know
Oh, Yoruba demons.
obviously there was the whole
Christy, I love them even then too.
obviously me I was just like
I'm done out.
it was like okay that was the whole thing in it like and then obviously now the Yoruba men have become worldwide. They've become worldwide. So they even to the point where I watched a video recently where this guy was saying for the Black Americans, this is how you if you want to date a Nigerian man, obviously he wasn't being specific. He didn't go down to the culture, but I knew he was talking about Yoruba. He probably didn't know, but I knew he was talking about Yoruba. The way he was breaking it down point by point, but obviously I'm sure people would have taken offense to it. In my mind, I was thinking, I don't give a heck about any of that. I'm still going there. But so obviously it's now there's like a meme like, oh, you need to leave the Yoruba women for the Yoruba men. And when I saw it, obviously it's back, like I was laughing, but I was like, this is 100% facts. Because me, I know you, and you know me. I know how to handle you. You know, we know how to handle each other.
That's true.
So like all that PR and all that kind of stuff, like, I don't give a heck. I couldn't give a heck, to be honest.
Do you guys feel some type of way about, obviously, like evidently, you obviously both don't there, but do you feel like more people feel some type of way about saying, you know what, I only want to, especially like in the UK, where all black people are just black people, right? Where it's like, we're proud to say, I only want my own culture. Do you guys feel some type of way about saying that? Do you feel like you have to, you know what I mean, tread
Like
on
tippy-toe,
people? Yeah,
like,
tippy-toe, and you know what I'm saying?
I don't feel that way because I don't. But what's happening? So that's sweet.
Echo.
Sorry, I've just opened up the hotline and somebody wants to come on stage. So
Yeah, 1 second.
Filling with
Sorry, someone in the comments, saying, why is it everything so Yoruba focused? There are loads of other cultures in Nigeria.
Who's that? No, please name them.
Can you all call in? I mean, jump into Discord
Chris,
and let's join the chat.
Look, me, I'm Yoruba, so I'm speaking from a Yoruba lens. I've already said it. So
Because if I sat here talking about Jamaica now, you'd be
I
coming
don't know
for my
what
head.
to tell you.
Anyway,
if there's an Igbo
today's not
person,
day. It's pancake day today. I'm not doing this.
Chris, just join the Discord and put your hand up and you can join the stage. Good morning, Chijoke.
Yeah, morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I kind of just wanted to ask a question then.
good example.
So for Chrissy and Esther, so would it matter if the Yoruba person was born here, or would you mind if it was someone from back home?
I don't mind as long as you know your culture. That's
Okay.
my thing. My thing is just about you knowing your culture. That's why I feel like as much as I know what it is that I want, if it was I found something else outside of my culture, the person still has to know their culture. Like I have to be with someone who's aware of their culture, and if we were to have kids, can pass that on to onto the children. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But yes, I don't mind if the person's from here or back home. I'm more open to here than back home, just because back home the mindset does not quite align with my mindset sometimes. So it would
This is what
depend
I'm
on the
saying.
individual back home. It has to be respectfully, not in a classist way, but it has to be someone who's been open to other mindsets outside of Nigerian mindset. Because otherwise, it's giving slavery, and I'm not doing that. And I know you might want to cook me for that, but I don't care.
I don't really mind, to be honest. If you know what's sweet to me
to stole my career.
as if they can just flow between Yoruba and just when it just flows. You just be speaking to me. You're speaking English, and then next minute you're speaking Yoruba.
Beautiful.
That will just it don't really matter to me, to be honest.
Okay.
But obviously, Chidi, you're a prime example of intercultural, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where's your wife from?
But she's Jamaican and from Barbados.
Oh, is it? Jamaica. Okay. Yes, it's okay.
So how was that process for you?
That's true, actually.
I mean, she was open to a lot of things. So, like for example, my son, his name is Igbo, so it wasn't really much pushback on those kind of things. So, in terms of like the culture thing, you know, there was always conversations in terms of learning, like my son speaking the language to his grandma.
Okay.
She's not quite like picked up the language, but in terms of me speaking it, I don't speak it as much at home. So I think that's where it can be a little bit more tricky if the other person doesn't know it. And I'm not saying I'm the best at Igbo. There's still things that I need to pick up. So, which I think is slightly different when it comes to Yorubas. Like, I think there's more like fluent Yoruba speakers than there is fluent Igbo speakers.
Is it?
So
I think so. I feel like Igbos are so like culturally rich. I feel like I actually think the opposite. I feel like sometimes Yoruba people very quick.
I
Like,
mean,
oh,
maybe
I can't speak. But Igbo people always know their culture. Like Igbo people are very, very culturally proud.
I
I've always
think
admired that.
I think it depends in terms of like, because I was raised like in South, and when I speak to the people in South, it's like Ghanaians definitely all Nutri,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
Yoruba
Ghanaians are
most
very like that.
Yes.
and I think like 95% of the Yoruba people I knew spoke Yoruba, but when I spoke to
That's
Igbo
true.
people, it was very much you were in a house where I think because they were trying to make sure you were doing well in school, English was spoken more. It was only when you went back home that you might hear Igbo a lot more because that's just what they would do.
Okay. Actually, maybe I'm thinking of back home.
Mm.
Yeah, back home there's definitely more Igbo culture, Igbo rich, and they tend to marry within themselves. You're more likely to see. You're more likely to see Yorubas marry outside like other cultures than I would say Igbo is marrying other cultures.
Mm.
Yeah, Igbo is like they really are very culturally.
They are very proud. So
Very
that's
proud.
why I would say. That's why I say there would be a clash with
Between
us.
Igbo- Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because they are also very like.
Yeah.
I'm not shifted
And their
either.
culture can be different to Yoruba
Yeah.
as well. The way they do things is
Cool.
very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
So
Wait, E-Man, is your partner Yoruba?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
how
Yeah, no.
important for you, Iman, was that then?
Very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't even trying to.
In my younger days, I thought, you know what? If this person was one of those who
Anyway, I thought
could,
he was Ghanaian, so either way, he could have gone anywhere.
He had an option.
Yeah, he had an option, to be fair.
if the person was one of those that would take on my culture with no questions, full blown, then maybe. But such person, that's like, is that possible? So it was only going to lead to one thing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else is going to come on the stage, but yeah, I'll leave you
Thanks,
guys to the
Shijake.
conversation then.
But in
That's
terms of
okay.
your question, sorry, because Esther answered it. I didn't.
I didn't even answer it.
Iman.
What was the question?
No, it was.
Oh, do you feel some type of way about saying it? Is
Oh,
that the
yeah,
question?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but guys, come on. I'm Queen of BOE. So if I've already said my stance already, you already know my
Yeah.
stance on.
No, but you
I'm
remember-
not-
But you know what? Sometimes it's about like, so I don't feel a way expressing how it is that I feel.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like it can make other people uncomfortable.
100%.
But then it's like, that's a you problem. It's not really me.
True indeed.
Because sometimes people are like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it makes people feel away. And I'm yet to uncover why that might make them feel away. Like why it might be uncomfortable for them to hear that. But then I just think it shouldn't be a problem.
I don't think
Because
it
if I
should
think
either.
this way and you don't like it, then I'm not the girl for you. So you should be fine.
Because the same way, if like, because I've actually got quite a few, lot of Ghanaian friends, like from one of my closest friends is Ghanaian, and if she came out and was just like, oh, I don't really, I just want to marry a Ghanaian. I wouldn't sit there and be like. I wouldn't feel uncomfortable
some
about
type
that.
of
Like
way,
I wouldn't feel some type of way. I guess people maybe think it's now a slight, but I mean I get it because Yorubas we be slighting people. It sounds like a slight to others. Like no, it literally sounds like a slight to others.
Yeah.
So I can understand how they could take it. Like they could take it in a way that we're being like
Arrogant.
arrogant and offensive, and we are arrogant and we can be offensive. But
This is true.
it's not even. It's because we're that proud and we're that like. We believe in our source. We believe in our source so much, like so. It's not even like it's like the ones anybody can get it. It's not personal to you. Like anybody can get it. Whether you're from Uganda, whether you're from South Africa, whether you're from Kenya, anybody can get it. So it's not even a personalization thing. But I think because of how loud and out we are, it will come across that way. So I can get why people may take offense and say I'm not doing that.
So are we saying Yorubas are to blame why the whole of Africa wanted us to lose on Sunday?
Pardon, sorry.
Translate
Are we
that.
saying huh?
Translate that.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying, are we saying, because obviously you saw how everyone wanted us to lose in AFCON. Are you saying this because we, like the Yorubas were the loud ones causing all the problems.
Right, Nigerians period allowed. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
No, Nigerians period
Well,
are
No,
allowed.
Esther, come on. I will feel like
No.
I kind of feel like
Who
Yorubas
was
make
it?
the PR. Yorubas make the PR, and Igbos as well. Chica, okay,
Where's-
don't try it.
where's
The
Phil?
Igbos make the because I would say we're the loudest. I feel like the others, we kind of drown the others out. Let's be clear.
Where's Phil's the producer from?
Who?
Phil's the producer. He was on Usher's album. He's the guy on Usher's album.
I don't know
He
where
did
it's
the
from.
finesse song. This guy made a song, a winner song before we and a dance to accompany it. He said, "When we win, this is the song we're playing, and this is the dance that goes along with it." I don't think Phil's is Yoruba match. Maybe he is.
No, but that's what Greek said. Igbos are loud as well, so it's not just trust me.
Nigerians in period are loud. I think the only people that are not loud is I would say the Fulani, the Hausa people. They're very quiet and very reserved.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
But Igbos are flipping loud.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have
Both
that.
of us,
Exactly,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So
So
it wasn't very loud.
For the most part, the Igbos and the Yorubas were drowning out like that was what it was really is really. We
100%.
was
I said, do you
like,
think?
100%.
You're very cheeky. For that. They're very loud.
And again, look how we even just act in terms of even the loss. We didn't care. Like okay, you could cuss, okay, whatever. But
Y'all
anyway,
definitely did care. Y'all felt that.
we felt
Y'all felt that.
okay. It don't take away nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
Trust me.
I want to ask you guys a question. Yeah, obviously, Chijike, you're a man. Yeah, do you feel like if you was a woman, or for example, if you got sisters, that decision to marry somebody from a different culture will be different for you?
I think it is different for the women
Mm.
because obviously, traditionally, you're taking on the man's name, so we tend to think you're taking on that culture as well.
Mhm.
So I guess that would be a different conversation.
So do you think you'll be less willing to marry somebody from a different culture if you was a woman?
I believe so, because like I said, it would be you taking on that family because you're coming into the family rather than, I think, when it's the woman's coming into their family.
Mm. Yeah, okay. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I think that's actually true because because how they see it in terms of carrying the name.
Mm-hmm.
So if like whether Yoruba or whatever, I feel like they know that they would carry on, so it wouldn't like. I feel like it wouldn't matter. Whereas for the woman, because the woman's going into there and taking the surname of the man, it's a bit more trickier. So I feel like it's probably more frowned upon if it was the woman than if it was the man.
Mm. But forget it being frowned upon. In terms of like what would the result of that that relationship, the implications on the children, would you be more conscious? Well, obviously,
So I missed this,
you
sorry.
guys are women anyway. So, so basically, do you feel like, well, both of you are basically saying you wouldn't marry interculturally anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But if you was a man, do you feel like you may be more willing to marry somebody from outside your culture?
When do
Because, no, but if you guys were men, so your mentality now as a woman.
I think the spirit that is roaming in the men of today, where they're very open to marrying from other races, other everything.
I think
will
the
probably
spirit
be
of
in us
black
anyway.
men being United Nations. Yeah,
Forget black men, Yoruba men. We're talking about Yoruba men,
Even
or
Yoruba
Nigerian
men.
Nigerian men.
even
I
Yoruba
would
men.
say
I love
women
them.
don't marry outside
But they are
as well.
horse.
Come on.
Wait, sorry,
Come
Chichike?
on.
What you say, Chichike?
No, because it's like I feel like that's definitely a conversation that feels a bit more like biased in terms of we hear a lot more of men will go and marry, the snow bunnies, but black women are also marrying outside as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like and I feel like sometimes it's more us that gets the flames for that.
Do you know
as
why
men.
though? I can explain that to you. I can tell you why that is. Because it feels like I'm just say black men. It feels like black men don't even try, but black women, for the most part, it's like as a last resort, I will go over to another. Do you get me? Like if they could have it any other way, they would be with a black man, but they just haven't found that black man. So it's like as a last resort, I will go there.
Yeah.
But then with black men, it's like whether you're up, you're down, you're sat, wherever it is, as the first instinct, your mind is just open. Do you get me? So that's why I think black men get it, and I think because people tend to look at I do it as well. I'm biased. If I see a black woman, with a white guy, and I know, like, I've known her, like I said, I know that she used to like black men or whatever it is. I'm like, oh, they got you. like, oh, you couldn't find what you wanted here, kind of thing. So you had to resort to this. But if I see a black guy with another race, I don't even think you put up a fight. You didn't even try.
To be honest,
You just went straight in for it.
I'm equal opportunity. When I see
So-
either way, I'm just like, really? Is this what we're doing? Like, even I can't lie to you, even for the women, the women ain't gonna like me for this, but even for the women, when they come and say, oh, it's gonna sound bad, but they do the woe is me.
Oh my, what is some people though?
No, they do the woe is me and like, oh, the black men, I couldn't, like, they couldn't, like, I feel like that's a lot of their origins, the origin story. Like, that's the arc.
Yeah.
And then that's why they were, so it's like, oh, so I should, you should have sympathy for me because this is why I went that way.
Yeah.
Babes, I don't have no sympathy
Yeah.
because I think you could, and I'm not saying like black men ain't got a, like, there's some issues get there, but I'm just like,
Nah, man, I've got
what we
sympathy
doing?
because even if it's a
don't.
black guy as well that I've known to like that he dates black women, blah blah, and he's with somebody else. If that's where the love worked for you, man, that's where it worked for you. Like I wouldn't look at him the same way I would look at somebody who just opened the eyes to other races and then is looking down. Because my thing is always about the looking down on your own race and feeling like, oh, like I'm with someone better, essentially. I don't rate that from men or women. I think that's just disgusting anyway. But I do look at people's sympathy because people do try. And I think with love is difficult, man. Listen, gotta go where you feel loved, man. What you can say, Chichika?
Okay. No, I was just going to say, so for you, are you saying that there has to be a longer period where you've dated inside your race before you think, okay, I can see that, this is just where you found somebody?
No. Because some people are not born in quote unquote predominantly black areas. So the schools they went to, all that kind of stuff, like they've probably been like one of a handful of black people. No, but I feel like the only time I would really look sideways is when you're judging, is when you're giving people, it's when you're acting as though you made out the hood because you're with this person that's from another race and you're talking down on your race. That's what I would never rate. That's the only time I really would ever say anything. So when I said what I was saying earlier, that was just to explain why it is that men get more heat for stepping outside of their race than women do. But when it comes to me personally, I love love. I'm a lover girl. And I just feel like love is hard sometimes. So you just gotta go wherever you can get it, love, go there. Not me though, but y'all go there.
yeah, I think
Go there, babes.
I think the black men's PR has been bad. I'm sorry, it's been bad. Like where I feel like they've been outwardly very like critical, where it's like, oh, I'm not dating because this or da. But I feel like now it's kind of been a level playing field. I feel like everybody's doing like for like. The women are also like.
Because I'm hearing
the
a
black
lot
men are the
more.
weak link.
Yeah,
Everybody's
black
weak,
youth
man.
and
The black men are
stingy
saying
and all
we're not
other
feminine.
things.
It's just a whole thing. But I don't personally, I didn't want to go down this. I didn't really want to go down the street, to be honest.
So silly.
I didn't want to go down the street.
I think everyone just love whoever you want to love and shut up.
but like,
What's the younger generation saying? Is the culture being passed down? Are they practicing it? Is it going to be dead?
I think it's gonna. I think
it's
it's
gonna
not.
die.
I think it's gonna die. Personally, actually,
I think what they know about the culture
it's very surface.
is surface, and it's things that like more enjoyment based. It's more Dirty December,
Yeah.
and it's more suya, and it's more I want a big lavish wedding.
Yep.
I don't think they actually understand because the whole conversation recently about like traditional weddings and people who are not part of the culture saying they want to have it looks so fun, I want to have one kind of thing, and then people that were Nigerian were like getting annoyed and saying and saying you guys don't even understand the why is da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, but a lot of you don't either. A lot of you don't understand the significance of the things that actually happen at your traditional wedding. When it is that the bride price is done, when it is that they say eat this, when it is that they say drink this cup, when they say your
Even the
man's what's called filler and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of you don't actually understand
Yep.
Yeah.
the significance of these things. It just looks nice and cool and you get to do TikTok reels and it just looks fun.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I feel like with the younger generation, it will, because even people my age, a lot of people don't know how to speak the language. A lot of people as well, their idea of the culture is very, very surface.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even like when I look, even in Nigeria, as much as obviously they live in Nigeria and stuff, but when it comes to speaking the language, a lot of people that can't even speak the language and they actually live in Nigeria. So I feel like it's just over time, it's kind of washing out. I think people's
Even the
parents are
dishes.
not intentional enough.
They're not even learning the dishes, like authentic dishes to this point. Like,
You know, my biggest pet peeve is when people call jollof rice with an E.
Oh. That's not acceptable if you're one of us.
I block people for less. I'll tell you that.
Like, so I feel like we're not. There's not really a concerted effort anymore. Like it's very like on vibes now.
Oh, this is a good one.
what
Nightfall
yours-
said we're losing recipes for
Yeah, that's
real.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Chrissy said. So what you're saying, could that be a good thing? Add any positive? Is there a positive way to look at that?
Look at what?
Look at
Losing the
what-
Look at
culture.
them losing certain aspects of their culture.
I think the
No,
aspects that are meant to be
because-
lost are not being lost.
Yeah.
What are the aspects of Yoruba culture that you would like gone? Like, we got 3 Yorubas in the room, right?
The insults.
Talk to
We
me.
we love an insult. We love an insult. I think the insult, the whole idea of like discipline, the whole idea of like elders can just, because I feel like there's a way to respect your elders without elders taking the piss.
Yeah.
All of that, I think we can do with some tweaking. I mean, I tweak my personal life, but I feel like that in general, yes. And I think also just the judgmentalness of that. Yeah, I feel like there's certain aspects of the culture that's just like it's a bit oppressive, I would say. That's why I say as well when it comes to me dating a guy from back home, for example, his mind has to be open to the fact that women are not just made for you to have sex with and just to be cooking you food and that's it. Because the number of stories I see, like real life stories and stuff, of where domestic abuse is justified and, you know, that kind of oppression and stuff is justified and all that stuff is wild to me. It's
That's baked into the
very
culture?
wild to me because it's more of a respect thing. I feel like respect is killing my people. The desire for respect is killing my people. I think black people in general anyway, because it shows up in different ways in the Western culture anyway. But that whole need for respect, and because of respect, you let foolishness fly. I think it's crazy. I also think as well, even like with the whole lavishness of celebrating things, and it's nice, but people go into debt just for that look of the wedding is big, the party is big, the funeral is big, everything big, 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 big. I feel like for me, it feels like these are the empty things about the culture that unfortunately is what's being held on to. And I feel like the actual substance that should be held on to is not being held on to.
But I feel like the lavishness, I feel like that's a byproduct of just how society's gone. I don't think that's literally
In our culture.
in terms of when you see the customs, it may look lavish, but back in the day, it wasn't really. It wasn't like that. It was more so.
Actually, it was more community,
It was
yeah.
community. Like we wasn't spending that much money.
Yeah.
I'm going to my auntie. She's making food. We're going to a certain place to get the cloth. It wasn't a whole. It wasn't a whole thing. Like so, I feel like it's just because,
Just become commercial.
it's just become commercialized. It's like right now I feel like weddings are killing our people right now. Like in terms of like not getting married, but like like the importance is more on the showiness of it than more so than actual marriage.
Yeah.
Like
That's the word.
it's more so like they would have the hashtag in their mind before they even think about the marriage. You've got your hashtag
That's so
ready,
weird. Yeah.
kind of thing. So I don't think it's more of even a lavish. I feel like it's just a byproduct because yes, Yoruba cultures can be very seen as very showy and stuff, but I think it's just a byproduct.
So what would you like to be dashed away from your culture?
Probably more so on the lens that at a certain stage with like the elders and stuff is like, I'm your child, but I'm not a child. So don't relate to me as such.
Word.
I feel like that mentality is still very like, even though you're grown, it's like still know your place because you're a child. Like you're my child. Like there can't be any constructive like no, you can do wrong. You don't need to die on this hill. You can accept that you're wrong.
And that's the respect thing again. Because it's like you can't say they're wrong because of respect. Not me, boy. I'm letting you know you're wrong, boy.
How about you, Mannion?
I think it's more so. I would say overall, it's not cultural things, man. It's more so. I think within our culture, I think our generation we tend to not value everything within our culture. I think we demonize things in our culture too much. So I think
You're going to bring up them Orisha and them, aren't you?
Not even that necessarily. Just.
Thinking, gosh, here he goes again.
But not even that. But like, just I guess, I don't think we don't put enough importance on the culture. So, for example, even like you guys obviously are good examples of wanting to keep the culture. But I feel like a lot of us outside of Yoruba land now, we're just living life, and so there's no real desire to hold on to it. If you know what I'm saying, like
The culture is Afrobeats.
There you go.
That's
you know
the
what I'm
culture.
saying?
That's what
You know
I feel
I'm
like right now.
Yeah.
It's just really like that's what's dictating the
Yeah.
thing. Like that's so 100% like, and not to get not someone's gonna get astray. Sorry, Rich. I can't like I
Oh,
can't
nah, man.
I can't I don't want
He's minding his business.
I don't want that I don't want that to be the landscape of things.
What do you mean?
No, that's not. That's not. He's minding his business.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's minding his business.
No, not you.
I
Christy,
know.
what
You
do
know what
mean?
she means, though.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like I don't want it to get to the point where
We don't know enough about.
yeah,
our culture.
like you like to the point where I'm like I have to question like are you Nigerian?
That's a lot of people, though.
Like
that is true.
That's
It's
a lot of
of us,
people.
you know. Unfortunately, it's a lot of us.
and that's what I'm saying.
But sometimes it's not our fault though. Sometimes it's our relationship with our parents.
And that's why
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I agree with that. But I think when you get to a certain age, then you have to start taking the
Yeah, but
reins
that's
for yourself.
Remember, Brent, that's why I
Start
called in that
learning.
time and said where like it's becoming. That's what I'm saying. It's becoming Black British.
Yeah, exactly.
It's becoming that
Yeah,
now.
it is.
It's not very
Yeah.
like
This is why I asked the question.
Culture-led.
This is why I asked the question. Do you guys feel some type of way about being in a circle amongst other Black British people saying, "Well, I only want to have children procreate with this type of Black British person. I something from my own culture." Does it sound bad? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and also the other thing is, Brent, like the religion thing. Yeah, of course, you need to quickly get into that as well. But like the religion thing, I feel like we put. I'm not saying you can't put and you shouldn't put your religion the highest thing in your life, innit? But I feel like we put it so high up, and a result of doing that is pushing our culture down. I think both of them can have the same importance. I don't think that because you're a religion that's different to mine, that we should be at odds when we're the same culture. That to me doesn't make sense, because before we took on a particular religion, we was this culture. You know what I'm saying? And I think that allows us to kind of devalue our culture in certain aspects.
How do you mean? Isn't certain parts of your culture, doesn't it conflict with religious beliefs? Let's say Christianity.
I think it depends who you talk to, though, because a lot of people say to
No, but when you say that you want to keep everything, how can you keep everything?
by not basically saying, oh, it's now going into the thing that Esther was talking about. By not saying
you were going here.
no, it wasn't even really my intention. But it's kind of just without basically saying this particular thing is evil, it's wrong. I'm done with this particular thing because of this religion that I have. Like there's other people within your culture that observe it and see it as sacred. By doing that, you're kind of rubbishing the parts of the culture and the people who are part of your culture. When I could easily say, well, I don't subscribe to this, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like in your personal house, in your personal business, you do that. In my house, this is what I do.
No, but
we're still brothers
we're
and
talking
sisters.
about partnerships. We're talking about being in the same house, creating a family.
No, but that's a separate thing, because you were asking about what part of the culture do we not like, innit? You know what I'm saying? So that's a separate question to what you're saying. But now you're asking about religion now. How can we make it, how can it work? Is that basically what you're asking me?
Can you rewind? Could you marry a Yoruba woman who was steeped in, is it Orishi? Orisha?
Ifa.
Could you? And she practiced it.
I could.
All right.
Yeah, I could.
Sweet. How about you,
No.
Christy? No, I've changed the camera to How about you, Christy?
You asked me such.
steeped in no,
Why not?
because I don't believe in that.
That's authentic Yoruba culture, though.
Yeah, I know it's authentic
But how could you just deny it?
to them.
What?
To them.
To he who believes.
Yeah, it's authentic to them.
It's authentic to you, love.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Basically, you're saying that there are authentic Yoruba men and women, boys and girls who don't practice that or believe in that particular.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
And you can still be Yoruba,
course,
authentically
of course.
Yoruba.
Yeah, of course.
This is what I'm saying. So you don't have to be questioned like how Christy questions Rich if you don't practice Aisha, right?
No.
You're not gonna be chastised.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? Yeah, Christy is to E-Man what Rich is to Christy. Yeah, she left Rich out of the question.
Sorry, Rich. Wherever you are.
Ray.
Sorry.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it did catch a stray.
Man, it's
But
damn business.
I'm just using. I needed to make an example.
It's interesting because when he was on, it's as though like you shuddered at home. When he's moving, when he's moving, as though wait a minute, you're Nigerian? I didn't know that. How were you supposed to know? Like how? Is it how he talks about Nigeria? Is it how he talks about what he eats?
I'm moving it from my lens.
Yeah.
I know how I move out in the world, so there's no way you would come across me
Yeah.
and not know that I wasn't.
All right. So I'm Trinidadian, right? And you speak Yoruba fluently. Well, good enough.
Good
You
enough.
just communicated to her and she understood. Right? If I'm married to you, what are the practices? What are the customs that I have to be like, all right, cool, I have to get used to this because this is strange or weird. Coming from my particular experience as a Trinidadian. Is it that wild? Talk to me. What is Rich
actually
not
not,
doing?
you know.
What is
to
Rich
be-
not doing?
No, but there was just certain things
He's
that
not
he
walking
did
in the
not.
spirit of Yoruba. Is
That
that
he, there were just certain questions were mentioned and he didn't know, and I'm just like, how did you not know this?
Give me an example. I need some
But then he
context.
said, obviously, his mum didn't make those certain
Oh,
foods.
it's just food.
That wasn't a thing. Like she just made thingy.
So that's one thing that you're telling me
You know
that-
what? It's not even more of it. It's not to me. I'm making it like an indictment
It's
on
too
Rich.
late.
I'm
It's-
not making it an
it's too
indictment on
late.
Rich.
It's too late.
Yeah, because it's too late. But
Retweet.
I'm trying to. No, it's more so to
do
the
now.
no. It's more so to the upbringing. It's more so to the
that's-
upbringing.
That's not his fault though.
It's more so to the upbringing, and that's what I feel like is happening where it's getting lost.
Mags and them like already a minute. He got brought up by Mags and them.
Let's just talk about a man that's
it
not
really
here to
is his
defend
fault.
himself.
So it's the food. I have to get used to the food, right? That's nothing to me. What else? What other custom am I going to be
Yeah, but
seeing
you
in the
say that's
household?
nothing. Some people, that's something to people.
I'm telling you, it's nothing, right? So anything else I have to get used to. What are the customs? And you can jump in, please, as a woman, Esther. If I marry a Yoruba woman, what am I supposed to be getting used to seeing around the household?
I think it's nothing.
When you go to family and this, that, and next. What is it?
Nothing like that. I think it's more to do with your dynamic as well. So say you come from like a small family. My family can be quite big sometimes, depending on what event we're going to. There's that. Also as well with Africans or Nigerians, let me say Nigerian Yoruba people, they're very, very inner in your business. So if we got married and we're like, we don't want to have kids, everywhere we go, we're gonna be getting, oh, so when's baby? When's the 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 baby? Even as a boyfriend, it's like, oh, when are you gonna propose? When are you gonna propose? They're very, very much in your business. And this is where I tell you people about respect. Because I tell aunties you to mind your business. That's what I do. But some people can't. So then they're subjected for the rest of their life.
get into that
So
too,
you'll
so
be,
it's-
so there's that. I think with the traditional wedding, that will be the thing.
All
So
right.
there's customs and stuff like that. So the guy basically, you have to come and you have to be asked for my hand in marriage. There's stuff that would be done. There's stuff that has to be bought, all that kind of stuff. So if you're not used to that, is that when when Fernand was saying earlier about, the whole bowing down to that's frustrating. That's what you and your friends will do. Essentially, they want to see that you're strong in it. You can handle their daughter. Obviously, I would never mind strong, but you have to prove to family kind of thing. So there's that.
I was gonna say
When it comes to when it comes to kids as well,
Yeah.
circumcising, that's a thing. We do that.
That's just normal. Like
It's not normal though.
No.
for people.
Do you know the thing is, it's only like when you guys were up earlier, I was thinking that's just normal.
You would think
But
so,
you
and
have
that's
to
why we have
consider that
conflict.
No,
when
you would have to consider
And they
that.
keep conflict. They have conflict until the child is 8. Now it's too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, so circumcision is a thing for us, and then with the kids as well, the way the kids are named.
I was
think
gonna
the
say,
boys are 7 days and the girls are 8 days, something like that anyway. But there's a number of a day.
No, 7 days.
7 days.
both,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah,
7
7 days, and then so there's that, and everyone gives a child a name. What person gives a child a name?
Yeah. So
So I could push the day of the week down though, can't I?
You can't.
no.
I can. It can't be the first name.
What?
Sorry.
What'd you say?
Is it like Monday,
No.
Tuesday, Wednesday?
No,
Thursday?
no.
I mean, like, so say your child is born today. In 7 days' time, we're gonna have a naming ceremony
And
to name
naming's
the
gonna
child.
happen.
Okay.
Is it 7 days or 8 days?
I think it's 8. You know, one of
thought
them,
it was
but it
7.
changes. I think
I were 7.
it's 8 for girls and 7 for boys, or 8 for
I didn't
boys.
think, I didn't think they were different, you know.
I think they were. You know,
I
I'm
always
sure
thought
my
it was
niece
same.
and nephew. I'm sure it was different. But yeah, there's that.
Anything else? Like this is all. These are not deal breakers. These are not.
But they are for some people.
No,
though,
but,
that's the
um,
thing.
conflict
In
stuff.
practice, they might be.
Yeah, no.
You're just hearing it.
Even
like this.
when-
Wait,
No,
when you say in practice it might be, I'm talking about for myself, right? You mentioned
Oh, you be
circumcision.
fine.
You mentioned circumcision, right? And you mentioned naming.
Yeah,
7
naming
days
ceremony.
afterwards. You mentioned the prostrating.
Yeah.
To show that I'm strong enough, right?
You gotta do some press up.
If
Imagine
she's
my man not
fluffy,
being
it
able
might
to
be
do press
different,
up. God. That'd be the most embarrassing.
No,
thing.
because there's even when you even have the baby, typically, if you was back home,
Oh, yeah.
the mum is coming to stay with you.
Yeah, she moves in.
Yeah.
She moves in.
To
Now
help.
I can give you an example of
See.
So wait,
give you an example of
We
someone.
get help to raise the baby.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but let me
But it can
let me
be overbearing because obviously they're in your house
yeah,
now,
yeah.
innit?
No, let me like
That
because
means there's extra plate to the table.
There's no privacy.
no.
it'd be good,
I
though.
know of someone.
They cook and all.
Obviously, he's Nigerian. I mean, he married a white woman, Jewish. And now, when they had their first child, his mum was ready, put the wrapper, the gele on. I've
ready
packed
to
my
go.
bags.
Yep.
I'm coming there. The wife said,
Excuse me.
"Where's she coming?" Excuse me.
Excuse me.
So the mum was all excited. She now the wife told the husband, "No, love,
See what I'm saying?
that's not happening."
Go
So
for
he
it.
then had to now go
Break
to the
the
mum,
news.
break the news to mum. And
Cut a long story short.
mum was not happy.
But why are we putting our parents in these positions?
No, but okay, but see, okay, this is where I also come in now on the whole respect thing. I feel like yes, typically that's what happens. But if I want to spend time with my baby, me and my husband want to figure this out together, we are within our rights, so you cannot impose. I don't believe in cultural impositions. I don't believe it because I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I want people in my house. I don't want my child exposed to people in the first place. Like I'm one of the people that people are probably going to see that cheered onto the first birthday. I'll be real with you because hey, you're bare breath all over my baby. No. I feel like if they want help, then that's fine. Like my mum, for example, yeah. My mum did not impose on my sister or anything like that. Like when they asked for help, she would let them know. She'll cook and be like, I'm going to bring something, I'm going to drop it off. Are you guys at home? It's not a case of like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't believe in stuff like that. So culturally, I understand that because it can be a bit much. If we have the child and we want to spend time with just the child, just us, we are within our rights to, but you can't come and tell me now because culturally this is how it's done. Do you know what I mean? So with that, that's where it can get tricky. Because me, I don't believe in the whole, like for me, what doesn't hold weight for me, and my family know this, if anyone that knows me knows this, telling me that something is the way it's always been done and expecting me to be like, okay, that is the wildest thing to me.
like a
That doesn't make
challenge, right?
sense to me, huh?
It's like a challenge. So, oh.
See, and guess, watch this. Watch this. I'm about to flip the script on everybody. So do you get me? So I feel like when it cocomes to stuff like that, that's the part of culture that I don't like because it doesn't take into account other people's feelings. It's just this is how the tradition is done, and so this is it. If I marry somebody that's like, do you know what? Yeah, I want us to figure it out because it's part of bonding with the child. At some point, your parents are gonna leave, and some parents as well. They move in. Some cultures, I know with like Igbo, they take it seriously. Igbo, and it's called Omugo. They take it seriously. But some people, it's not even coming for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. Auntie's still here. Man, pack your bag and go.
Yeah,
and then when you start living in my house, this is now where you again. It comes back to what Christy was saying. I am your child, but I'm not a child. So now you're in our marital home where things have been running smoothly, and now you're saying, now you're picking, and you're trying to impose how you were running your house when I was a kid to this adult grown house where you don't pay no bills.
But
Man, pack your wrapper, your bag, and go.
But this is where I think the man has to also talk. If it's the man's mum, at least, you know what I mean? Talk and say, look, mum, understand that obviously my wife, we want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be doing too much here. You know what I'm saying? Let it all be, smooth sailing. And I
love
guess
it, man.
the
I can tell his
woman,
mum where to go.
Yeah, but you're saying don't.
yeah.
we know how the guys are about the mums.
No, but this is why the
thought
men,
you got married
this is why the men have to be
Listen.
men and actually talk to their mum.
When I tell you the kind of conversations I have with men in the early stage, that's the kind of conversation I have. I want to know what kind of relationship you have with your mum. Because if your mum's going to be out here and tagging into my life, and you're going to be sitting there still sucking a tit, acting as if your mum is perfect, you and your mum can leave. That's what you guys can do as a pair.
I can't lie. Boundaries. I'm not even gonna. I'm probably generalizing. Is a generalization, 100%. But I think boundaries in African culture is not even a thing. Boundary as a word, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
They don't know that. So where certain things will say no, that's a boundary. They will be like, no, this is culture.
What does Greek mean by this? Good morning, Black Rob.
So you're saying generally? So Greek says
What did
stress.
Greek say?
Stress, Brent. Stress, Brent. If you marry a Yoruba woman, just get yourself used to stress.
Greek, why are you hating?
Do you know what? I don't like? And I'm
No, why are you hating?
let
What
me
does he
tell you
mean
why I
by
don't
that?
like. Let me tell you what I don't like. Brent.
No, why is Greek hating?
Brent, let me tell you what I don't
Anyway,
like.
it's
I
fine.
don't like when people are in situations that doesn't favor their spirits, and they just assume that's how everyone else's situations is. If you're stress king, just say
Can you
that.
hear me, guys?
We can hear you, yes.
Just say that.
Good morning.
Hello.
But Greek is chatting shit. Good morning, Black Rob.
That's the Igbo brother. So I'm not coming along to your hour anyway. So you can stay there.
Okay.
Yes, Black Rob.
Otilo. What happened?
Not too long.
Black Rob, have you muted yourself?
Testing.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Is this like a...
We can hear you.
You know, people say that if they got kidnapped, what they would tweet to let you know they need help. Is this Black Rob's?
Hello.
It's very quiet.
It's very
we
quiet.
we can hear you.
I don't think he knows that he's calling stuff out.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Oh, well.
Huh.
But yeah, man, I think with intercultural, you have to just have conversations, man. If you assume you F around, you will find out 100%, man. Because number of people that just be having, and that's the kind of stress Greek is talking about. It's just unnecessary. Not obviously not with Yoruba people, but that's the kind of stress that can come in intercultural situations.
Yeah.
Is that it's just unnecessary stress now? Like,
Yeah.
To be fair.
and for what?
Even if I marry another Yoruba, it can be stressed.
Can you guys hear me?
100%.
It can be stressed.
Sorry,
That's
I
what I'm
wanted
saying.
you to come back.
It can be stressed. Because even at the wedding,
We can hear
if
you.
we're coming to do the mums are coming to do Clash of the Titans, there's gonna be problems.
You see, I don't have time for that. We'll go to a courthouse and that's like everyone goes to your house.
Because mum will want to come and do Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, you people give your parents so much liberties. Good morning, Black Rob.
Black Rob, we can hear you, man.
Okay, just call normally.
Yeah, just
King.
call
Yeah,
normally.
please.
Yeah.
So when you say, you like to look at.
This thing is jankier. It's not working. I can't hear
It was
anything.
working for Tajuki, so it's on you. Let me mute him before he continues to destroy this production.
Man, it's so ridiculous.
I can't even kick him.
Go on, you got to end the room.
Not in the room. Oh mate, it's giving me PTSD.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
We've
you.
been hearing you.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
So what have
Sorry,
you done
sorry.
What have you
differently?
done differently?
I changed the input thing on the mic. Sorry, that was me. That was my fault.
Not the mic.
My bad.
You see in front of your
Ah,
YouTube channel.
Sorry.
Carry on.
No,
What you saying?
the headset. Anyway, I can hear you. Yeah, I was agreeing with all you guys up until the point where you're like, you're talking about what did you just say just now? I forgot now.
I know you forgot.
What about the mothers coming
You
to the house?
said, yeah, mother's coming. Yeah, it sounds like cherry picking the parts of culture that best suit you. And also, you said something about how when they're being annoying, you'll tell your aunties to whatever. I don't know what you said. You said something about I don't mind. Telling aunties to go away or something like that. Or I don't know if you said those words, but yeah, you
definitely
you
did, but I
basically said that you. What'd you say? I don't want to misquote.
I don't recall, but I can't remember.
But you said something about you don't mind challenging the auntie or something
Oh
like that.
yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, but that's not of the culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's why I said the things of the like. I don't. When you said that I'm choosing the parts of the culture that suits me, of course. Who else would I like? Who else would I make how I live suits if it's not me. There's even as I live today, there's parts of the culture that I embrace and there's parts of the culture I don't embrace. And there's no shame in that for me. I don't think, like I was saying earlier, I don't think that tradition should impose on on the things that I want for myself or my personal rights or my personal freedom or anything like that. I don't believe in that. So if your mum does overstay her welcome in my house, it's time for your mum to go. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's extrapolate that. Let's extrapolate that theory. There's parts of the culture that don't suit me. I don't want to pay dowry because I don't feel like it doesn't suit me. I don't want to.
That's okay.
I don't want to.
That's fine. You better not marry someone who's
if we keep doing that, then it.
Yeah, but that's okay. You're free to do that, Rob.
I'm doing the exact same thing. Yeah, but if the man that you want to marry has that same mindset, then you'll keep stripping away the things of the culture that doesn't serve that person, even though because our culture in essence is about the collective benefit rather than the individual. And what you're doing is a very Western thing where you're going, this doesn't serve me, so I don't want to do it, even though there's a reason why.
And what's the problem with that? What's the problem with something not serving me and then me not doing it?
Individualism is not a West African mindset, really. The individualistic mentality is a byproduct of us living here. I
sleep well at night with that. If that's what that is, I sleep well at night with that. It doesn't affect my life in any kind of way. Because I'm still more cultural than a lot of people you probably know. So that doesn't affect me in any kind of way. And if I was to be with somebody as well, the person I would be with would be equally yoked in how it is that they are with me. This is how this whole conversation started. It's about me being with somebody who's also like-minded. So this is not a problem.
So is Black Rob, are you fighting for the right for someone else's like mum to cuss you out or be disrespectful?
Not necessarily. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the tree where that mindset comes from is all about individual. So okay, let me go for it. The whole idea of you don't want the mum to overstay their welcome is because you feel uncomfortable. The reason you feel uncomfortable because you're thinking about yourself.
Do you know how funny
in reality, in reality, wait, can I finish? In reality, the reason why the mum comes and stays is because the idea is that the village raised the child, the mum comes there, they support the child, you're healing from the pregnancy, they help you out, they get connection with the child, they get connection with you. It's all about it's the idea is the village, blah, 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 blah. But because I think it's a byproduct of Western mentality where we're like, I don't want you to come over because of my own personal whatever. So in reality, it's probably beneficial for the child even to do this. But because you're thinking about yourself rather than thinking about the reason why this is done, which is probably above you because it's a cultural thing, you don't want to do it.
Can I ask a question? For the 3 Eurobos in the room? Is there some sort of etiquette to follow where you aren't as obnoxious or take up room in the person's space as possible? Let me change the question. I'm back to stupid. So it sounds as though that this woman is coming to help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Is she coming to distress you further whilst you're healing?
No, but sometimes they can
be
do
about
that.
She imposes herself in a manner in which it is uncomfortable for you, right? And this is what
stresses and basically adds what they're meant to be taken away from me.
Precisely, and this is what I'm thinking. You're arguing.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
So they may come and be like, no, don't do that. Why are you holding the child like that?
But what it sounds like Black
But
Rob,
that's what needs to be addressed. That's what needs to be addressed.
No, but this is what I want you to clarify. Are you arguing for doesn't matter what she does?
No,
Hold
that's
it.
not what I'm arguing. No.
So I don't think you're allowed odds then.
So what are you arguing about?
Yeah.
Can I say something quickly? Yeah, I think
Iman's on the other side of this because
I think it's more so. Do you know what it is? What tends to happen is a lot of us modern people, yeah.
So he said us so that he's allowed to enter the conversation.
No, I'm just saying the reality.
Iman was waiting.
I'm just saying the reality. A lot of us, we obviously, before anything occurs, we believe that mum coming into our house will cause problems. We already say,
sorry, I've got to stop you. Us don't believe that. Does the us that you're saying, does that include me? Do you think that's what I've done?
I don't know.
But does that sound like what is that I've said?
No,
Because
I
said
haven't,
that.
remember, I haven't got to the end of it. So, but,
No, no,
but
but-
at the same time,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't know
wait,
for
but
you.
does that
No,
sound like
no,
what
for-
I was saying? I was implying.
But that's what I'm saying to you. Wait. Let me get to the end. And
I
then,
hope it
then,
makes sense when
then,
you get to the
then
end,
maybe,
though,
then
because-
maybe you might agree.
I
But
hope so.
but the situation is, many modern people today, yeah, we have ideas of how we see family. A lot of the time, we see family as I'm going to start my own family. I find my wife, I find my husband, and our immediate family is our family. We forget about
Nuke.
the strong connection that's
Very
necessary
Western.
to actually that forms the community. And because we are in the Western world, right? A lot of us, how we see the world is like, okay, I'm going to marry my husband. I'm going to have this time with my husband the first 2 years. I'm just going to do us. I'm going to have the kids. Just going to be us. And these are all beautiful things, right? But it seems kind of different to what our, not it seems, it is different to how our culture is and has been for 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So when you already have that mindset of like what you believe or want to be the case in your household when you first have your child, there's going to be a part of you that's already in opposition to somebody offering to come to your house to help.
100%.
So you may see it like, wait a minute, why is this person just in my space? I wish I was free enough to just walk downstairs and without having to say hello and do this. And when I'm making something, I have to consider this other person. It's not the same as if you was raised in a particular way to see it as this is what's going to happen. And I'm welcoming the fact that I'm going to get help. And you know what? The only positive, let me just focus on the positives, which is that for some
That's what you
time,
said.
I will learn how to hold my child. I will learn how to bath my child. I will learn to do these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know everything.
Yeah, that's all great.
And E-Man, just to,
No,
just
that's
to,
all-
just to,
Black
sorry.
Rob, hold on. That is nice. And me, I don't mind. Like there's certain things I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind.
Yeah.
Even Esther says I've got an unhealthy bondage, so I don't even mind. So me, I'll even put my hands up. I don't. However, I think
dear.
let's come on.
Yeah.
Some of
See,
you
I
know,
speak.
do you know what?
We know
Some of you
there
know
are
your mum.
certain. There's certain.
Some of
We
you know your
know
mum.
our mums, and there are certain ways they go about things. We already know that even
and I agree.
Yorubas,
Speak on it. And I
Yorubas
agree.
have a
Can we address
takeover
those things?
spirit.
Can you
Just
imagine
address
the
those
on a
things.
nonsense
day,
that's been said
on a
in this
day.
platform this morning?
So already the mum is coming in. The mum's like, whether you like it or not, she's. I know it's culture or whatever,
yeah.
but she's coming with some like. There's an ego there.
I don't think that's necessarily the case.
No, there is.
I
Yeah,
think
but
that-
no.
there is.
That
And
may
they-
be true.
the
That
way
may be
they
true,
would-
but we
the way
address
they
those
would
things to make it
relate.
fair.
Black Rob, can I finish? The way they
go,
would
go.
relate to you is more. It's I'm sorry, it can be very combative.
Okay.
So if any small thing deems as like you're challenging them, it becomes an issue.
Disrespect.
Becomes disrespect,
And
and then that's where
Yeah.
and that's why
But
when
then-
Brent asked Black Rob about is it just to not say anything, just hold it? That's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah, but
not
I
saying that
disagree with you,
culturally we can't let me have all the help. But however, if I now decide like, no, actually,
want to
today,
figure this out myself.
actually today, like I want to do this, or maybe today, I didn't want to breastfeed. I'm gonna get the bottle. Maybe just today, I'm tired. I don't. And she's like,
that's-
no, don't. Will you? Lie.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is, yeah? Sorry. No, Chrissy, tag me. Because do you know what it is? You know what I don't like?
I've got that. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You know what I don't like, yeah? I don't like when we're having
you know-
these conversations, yeah, and it's like people are intentionally being obtuse and intentionally acting as though you are not aware of what the reality is. The reality is that a lot of you know your mums. A lot of you know your mums feel like they know everything. They feel like they're best at everything, and they will not let you. You can't bring a different idea to whatever that they believe. You, as the mother's child, has that frustration with your own mother, and that is your mother who you love, who raised you, and who you're grateful for. Blah 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 blah. And somehow you think that your mother is going to come into your household to help you when your wife's giving birth to the child and whatnot. And you think that the same spirit that frustrated you when you were in your mother's house is not going to manifest in this space because you've never corrected your mum. You've never pulled your mum up on any of that. And somehow you think that when this baby gets here and she comes into this house here, somehow that's going to evaporate. If it is a case, to speak on what you saying that people have that, people already expect that and they go into that if that. People expect that because that's their experience. That is their experience of the culture. That is the experience of their parents. That is the experience of the aunties and uncles that they've been around. That is the experience that they've seen people who are older than them have. So why would they have a different experience for themselves when it comes to the parents, when it's their turn? If anything,
Then you
they'll be. Excuse me, please. If anything, they'll be naive and be foolish to think that you've seen your mum do this to your older siblings, you see them do it to your niece, you see them do it to da-da-da-da, and somehow you thought your story would be different. There is that. I don't think that there is an issue with if a couple decides, you know what, actually, we're parenting, yes, we don't know everything, but you know, we actually want to figure this out together. Because what this will actually do is help us bond and help us figure this out together. And a lot of couples say that when they figure it out together, it brings them closer, because like, okay, do you know what? We are a team in this, that. There's nothing wrong with that. But saying that, you know, choosing not to do that means that you're breaking the culture and I think that's a very silly thing. Like, Good Vibes even said something earlier, which is actually a problem a lot of new mothers talk about when their mother-in-law comes to help them. They decide that they want to just breastfeed the child. Mother-in-law is now giving the child Cerelac and giving them formula.
The mother-in-law is?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is normal. That's the normal thing that happens. I've heard too many mums say that in terms of like, so
the
I'm
mum
telling...
doesn't want to breastfeed?
No. The mother is saying to the mother-in-law, we're just breastfeeding, we're not introducing formula yet.
Okay.
And then they give the mum, maybe they go and have a nap or something. They wake up, what are they sitting on the table? A bottle, because the mum is giving formula. There's so many mothers, new mothers, who would tell you that when their mother-in-law comes to live with them and comes to help out with the child, when they're saying, you know what, this is what we're going to do, it becomes a thing of berating them of, oh, you don't know what you're doing. This is your first child. I've raised this many children. I know better. Follow me. You new age people think you know everything. Don't do this. Like, that is a conversation that happens all the time. So when it is a thing where you're meant to come here and help relieve my stress, because yes, my body is still in pain from the labor. Yes, this you've now come, and then because you've come with this spirit of knowing everything and you're gonna show me the way. What you're doing is that you're adding stress to me when you should be taking my stress away. So if it does come to it where a couple is like, do you know what, actually, we want to figure this out ourselves. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it makes them any less cultural going about it that way. What's the baby gonna learn? Is baby gonna learn Yoruba alphabet at 6 days old? That's not the case. So I think it's very disingenuous. It's very disingenuous to know of people's real life experiences and to know what our culture actually is, especially when it comes to respect, especially when it comes to you correcting an elder person, even if they've done harm to you, and them just interpreting that as disrespect, and then expecting, and then kind of putting the onus on the people who have experienced this culture and saying that they are trying to break up the culture by that. No. Just because it's been done like this for 1,000 years does not make it right. There are things within the culture that could be upgraded. There are things within the culture that needs to be upgraded. And this could be one of them.
Before I say something, Black Rob, you've
because
been waiting.
people in the comments are saying his point is being missed. So I need him to articulate.
It has been missed.
Okay, what's been missed?
Do better, bro.
So, yeah. So, one thing. Yeah. So, there's a lot being said. You're still bending. You're still picking and choosing the stuff in the culture. And also, what Chrissy's response was slightly different to Esther's in terms of, yes, you said there's overbearing mums and all that stuff, but if the response to that is to, hey, don't come to the house, or that's a difference to come to the house, but here's our rules in this house and don't overstep them. That's a different discussion. But to be like, don't come at all. Do you know what it is? One of the main things why I want to marry in my culture is because I see a lot of my British white friends, and their relationship to their extended family is very much, oh, that's my cousin. They live 10 minutes drive, but I haven't seen them only on Christmas, and we're very much like my nucleus family is my own really real family, and the extended family is just kind of like there. And a lot of the way that we're moving, it sounds like we're going to that kind of individualistic society as well. And the way that we're talking about something as similar as the mum staying with you for a couple of weeks is becoming like a whole. Yes, the mum could be overbearing. Yes, the mum can be a bit extra. But that's when the discussion between you and your spouse can be about how you determine the rules in your house so that your parents do not overstep. But to be like, hey, just get out completely is a completely different discussion to, hey, mum, dad, don't overstep. You're going to live with us, but these are our rules. That's a different discussion completely.
Yeah, but obviously apply sense to what was said, because in what world would, like, I literally said overstay their welcome. Overstaying your welcome is different to you say you've done something that I don't like and I'm like, get out. Obviously, that would not be the case. This would be a case of, I think Chris even said, or Iman said about, that's when the guy needs to come in and obviously have a word with his mum. If we've had conversations and there's nothing moving past the conversation, that's when we get to the point of, okay, do you know what, I think it's best if you leave. It's not a case where she's going to make one mistake and it's like, oh, get out or whatever. Do you get what I mean? Obviously, that's not going to be the case. But I still believe if I don't want for my mum to come and live with me after I've had a baby, I am within my rights to do that. I'm not going to be less cultural than the couple next door who cannot speak the language, who cannot do this, cannot do that, dare not do that, all that kind of stuff. But because their mum was there in the first 6 weeks of the baby's life, all of a sudden now they're more cultural. I don't think that's... I feel like sometimes with culture, again, we attach meanings to things. Yes, in theory, it is a good thing, but sometimes we exaggerate the substance of this one act, and then it's as if that it cancels out every other thing that should follow up on that. Okay, yes, the parents come and they're there in the family for 6 weeks and they help you with the child, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but you still can't speak the language. You're still not raising the kids in the way that you're still not doing all of this, still not doing all of that. Where do we go from here?
It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of something bigger. And what also, Esther, I think that do you think this mindset is conducive? Because you said that you wouldn't mind dating someone that was actually from Nigeria, right?
Sorry,
you said you wouldn't mind dating someone that's actually living in Nigeria, that's raised in Nigeria, as well as someone like a Nigerian Brit like us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
So don't you think that if there's things from the culture that we want to cherry pick, that we want to take out, obviously there's stuff that in the culture that's like toxic, but if there's things in the culture that you want to pick and choose, that you cherry pick, someone that's that actually born and bred in Nigeria, wouldn't they be even more steeped in the culture and maybe like, why are you trying to change those things? Wouldn't there be a clash in that sense? Because the same way that you said, Chrissy may say that, okay, Rich is maybe not as cultural as her, someone that you may want to date from the diaspora that would say, hey, why are you trying to water down these things? You're not as cultural as... Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I see what you're trying to say, but I also don't get it, because when it comes to dating, and I mentioned this a few times, but when it comes to dating, the conversations I would have with a person, I would know whether we are on the same wavelength. And so when I said about being with a guy from back home, I said there's a certain kind of mindset that he would have to have. Like, I'm not going to be with somebody who we're not aligned. Like, I have these conversations very early, like extremely early, very, very early. So there's no world where I'm going to be with somebody who does not align with my thinking and now is problematic. So I get your question.
Contradictory a lot of the time, though. So I don't know how to be aligned.
What's contradictory about what I've said today? Because you weren't listening, if anything. Because I've addressed all of this.
I listen well.
No, you weren't.
I listen very well.
Because I addressed. No, you weren't.
I listen
well.
I listen so well. I quote you, and then you get annoyed when I quote you.
I don't get annoyed. Why would I be annoyed? I don't care,
when I quote you.
Whatever you want to do, can you mute his mic, please? Whatever it is that you want to do with yourself is what you want to do. You have called up to challenge the way that I think and the way that I live and what works for me. Like, for me, this conversation is mute. That's why I said earlier when you said, "Oh, what did you say?" Yeah. Is that when I think about it, I don't care, because the way I live my life is how I live my life, and it works for me, and it's stuff that I've thought about, and do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, you care enough to have called up to challenge me about my mindset, which I don't see a problem with, because you want me to carry the burden of I'm an individualistic Western woman and I'm breaking the culture. I don't believe that. I'm more cultural than you will probably ever be. I don't believe that. So I'm not pressed about what you're saying. I just don't like having conversations that don't make sense.
There's another person on the call.
I'll say you.
There's another person
you didn't
on the
upset
call.
me.
Good morning, caller. Can you still hear us? I know your mic is muted. Good morning. I'm seeing it flick from muted to unmuted. Are you talking?
They're passing now.
That was me that was muted.
No.
I don't know if there's someone else coming up on stage.
Yeah, there's somebody else on the...
I think part of the culture as well, yeah.
Sorry, let me just get this right, because there's 5 things happening.
Yeah.
Black Rob, thank you very much for calling in. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
The person who called in via the number, can you hear me? If not, can you call back, please?
Can I add something else? Do you know another thing? I feel like with the culture as well is that people need to, the same way we accept that people have different cultures, you need to understand that there's different things that people relate to. And I think part of the problem, why maybe the culture is getting lost, is that we're expecting everybody to be like us. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're expecting everybody to hold certain things, whatever it is that within the culture you connect to the most, you're expecting everybody else to connect with that the most. But they're not going to. It's unrealistic. And this is why we're going to keep getting divisions, because rather than just focusing on yourself and picking up other parts of the culture that you don't really connect or you don't know much about and learning about that, you're too focused on doing activism to try and convert someone else's mindset. You don't need to do all of that.
You know, the thing is, there's points being made on both sides. The reality is this: our culture today, or even if you go back 100 years, is not how Yoruba culture was 1,000 years ago. It obviously changes. It changes with the time. If it doesn't change, it will cease to exist. That's just the reality of things, right? Yeah. But I think, for me personally, my own opinion is more so, it's kind of like me, this may not be the best analogy, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily think university is the route to necessarily be successful. But I can't allow my child to tell me university is rubbish if they never tried it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, cool, come to me with a plan. Say that this is what you're going to do instead, or you're going to university and then you're going to see and tell me from experience that this doesn't work for you. Then we can move in a better direction. I don't think culture should hold us back. But I think a lot of the time, because of our experiences and because we don't take certain things on, we demonize it from outside. So my thing is, if, like Esther, you're saying, your mum comes over, this, that, and the third, and then there's problems there. Okay, cool, fine. You and your spouse have tried to iron out certain things with your mum and she's not listening and you tell her to leave, fantastic. But if it's like, no, don't talk to me about it, she's not coming here, to me, that's when I feel some type of way. No, I'm just saying, because some people have that mentality as well.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? People have that mentality as well, where it's like, I don't want my mum to come over. Before she's come over. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So if that's how you see it, that's fine.
But the funny thing with this culture thing, you know, I'm deemed less Yoruba because I was born here, you know that, right? So how the Yoruba people in Yoruba, in actual Nigeria view me is very differently.
Of course.
So they would even think I'm even culturally, I'm not even, it's a bit funny.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's even that.
You know what the thing is, like Esther's also saying, there's certain things within our culture that we're all going to think is more important than other things. That's just the reality. But I think when we get to, again, this is just my perspective, when we get to a place where we say certain things we just don't want to do because we're choosing how we feel individually to do certain things, I think that's when we have to understand, if that's what you want to do, it's your life. Nobody can force you to do anything. But understand the consequence of that is parts of our culture will be lost. And that's a part that you won't pass on to your children. You know what I'm saying? And long term, 100, 200 years from now, we can't be acting as though
I agree. And
we don't know why.
I agree with Rob's point about the individualistic mindset that was carrying on today. But I feel like we have an individual mindset just even about race.
Of course we do.
And hence why I say that.
And are we happy about it?
When we're not thinking of the bigger picture as a collective.
Exactly.
So I don't disagree with that. I 100%. And if we continue that line, things are gonna get lost. But in terms of picking and choosing, I think that's just inevitable. And that's inevitable at the point where we are now. That's inevitable.
But this is also the danger of it. Like, if you look at any culture that's gone, I don't know, in the diaspora somewhere, away from their home, with time they change. And so the question is, are we happy that we're going to change? Are we happy that this is what we're giving up? If we're not, then we have to make an effort to say, look, all these type of things, we have to at least try them before we give them up. You know what I'm saying? Because in some cases, it may be a good thing that we give them up. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things in certain tribes, like circumcision of females, for example, trigger warning, right? That people say, no, we don't want that anymore. Rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But it's happened.
That's the thing, though. You say rightfully so, but somebody else who listens to you will criticize you and scrutinize what you're saying for rightfully so, because they'll tell you that's an individualistic mindset.
They will say, what are you talking about? They'll say you're not even cultural.
So that's why I can't take this conversation seriously, because everybody does it. But it's when when a particular person, I wouldn't say who, me, speaks, that's when you want to have some kind of rebuttal and be like, oh, da-da-da-da. No, because in some kind of way, you're vegan. You're Nigerian vegan. Do you not think the ancestors are rolling in the grave? They are.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you've been a vegan. Is that not an individualistic decision you made?
It is. 100%.
Exactly.
But this is the
so
point
why wouldn't you? No, but why wouldn't you get as flack, as much flack as I'm getting for not wanting my mother-in-law to come and move in with me?
Yeah.
You're in the same way that I'm tarnishing the culture. Yeah. It's the same way you are, and that's my issue. is that don't be throwing certain words out because it relates to one person that you don't like, or you don't like when it is that they speak because it gives you the shakes.
Yeah.
Don't be bringing up certain arguments when it is a thing that in the way you live, you do the same thing. It's just what you do. Your example is different to mine.
100% I agree.
Same
with you.
thing.
100% agree with you. This is why I said to you, with time, Yoruba culture, any culture is not the same as how it was 1,000 years ago. But you have to ask yourself, there's certain things within a particular culture that have much more dire consequences. If there was a famine in Yoruba land today and there was no meat, there was no cattle, we chose to not buy from the Fulani, from any other person, we can still be Yoruba people eating just greens. We can still be Yoruba people being plant-based. We can do that.
Okay,
if we start removing certain things, let's just say certain things within our weddings, certain things within
use the example
how
that
we
I've
greet.
used because that's what
I'm not talking about that exact thing.
But that's the thing though. But that's what I want to happen though, because I still need to understand why it is that not wanting my mother-in-law to come and impose heavily is going to ruin the culture.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
No, but you said you agree with Black Rob, so it needs to be what you're saying.
No, I agree with him because I'm talking about the fact that if you're saying from the jump, I don't want this to be the case, right? And then, because my thing is this, we have to learn how to eat the fish and spit out the bones. There's certain things that we're just not going to want, right? 100%. But my thing is, if I know, for example, my mom coming here, I can learn from this. I think, I'm just talking about me personally, I think I could stomach certain things to take on the things that is beneficial for my child. That's what I'm saying. And I think Black Rob is saying the same thing. But if it gets to the point where the interaction is so bad that the good thing I can learn from it is not even there, plus it's just negativity, then why are you still here? I understand. No one's an idiot.
Is that not what I was saying though?
No, but we're talking about, I'm talking about from the jump. People are saying, I don't want you here, period.
See, I got
That's what I
Esther.
said.
I got Esther's point. I didn't take Esther
Tapped
saying that she was just a totally like don't even entertain the idea, like kind of thing. I think the idea when you entertain it and then like I said, there can be the overbearingness and all of that.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. And don't say, oh, it's culture.
No, but I've agreed with what you're saying there.
Don't do that.
I've agreed. And I
That's
think
what I
Black
don't
Rob
like.
even agreed with that.
That I don't like.
But Black Rob even agreed with that.
It's not every day. Well, that's the culture because I want to challenge you and be like, well, not necessarily. I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not saying. Obviously, there were certain things that definitely steep. Like for instance, you know when we I don't know if you did it with your daughter.
Yeah.
But I did it with my son when he was born. The elder came over when they stretched the limbs and stuff. If someone saw that, they would.
Yeah.
If they see the way they
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't know if other cultures do that where they stretch
Give me
limbs.
some context.
They do. I think some Asian countries, Indians, I
This
think,
is not Yoruba culture?
not alone.
Because my friends Sierra Leone and they
Yeah,
do
they
it.
do.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's not
So
So you just stretch your body.
Yeah.
so when the baby's
Stretch your
born,
body. Stretch your body.
The limbs and that.
even they would like for instance, he was when they bathed him with palm oil.
Okay.
They use that to clean him. That is a very Yoruba thing. Now, if I was someone who was like,
Yeah.
why should I clean my child with palm oil? What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't like not known of my culture, that would be weird. Even though I'm Yoruba, whatever, I'm just living off the vibes. That would be weird. But so they've come to clean my child with palm oil and they've come to stretch the limbs in that way, like proper. And you would think that that's weird.
Yeah.
Like so things like that. So if you're not things like that, I can understand where it's like, no, we're not actually doing that at all. That I can understand that being an issue. Like now, that part of the culture is being lost.
But that's what I'm saying. And again, just to reiterate, I'm not saying if Esther is saying come into the house and we have problems to tell you to leave, fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we have the
my name
stance.
anyway, to be honest. If I'm being honest,
Is it?
I'm here now. People stop bringing up my name.
No,
anyway,
I'm talking about what you said
the
before,
kind of relationship
innit?
I'm having people and the kind of relationship people are having is very different. So when you lot out here projecting on me, please.
Again,
yourself
we're just talking about
and fix your homes.
what we're talking about, innit? I'm just saying, for those people who are saying from the jump, I don't want you here. When I get home with my baby, I don't want you here, period. That's what I'm talking about. Because those things you just mentioned, stretching the limbs, bathing the child first, all these type of things there, using the palm, all of that will be gone if the mum is not allowed in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying to you. But if she comes in the house and then you have a problem while you're there, fine. No one's saying it should infringe on your mental health. No one's an idiot here. We're just talking about, but the people that are talking to you
people are saying that though. People,
Which
that's
people?
that's what Black Rob was fucking saying.
I don't think he was saying that, though.
You saying that them coming. He even said about there's benefits of that happening. All that kind of stuff. Like if the person, for example, does not have a good relationship with their mother-in-law, you think the baby being here is what's really going to change that relationship? So if I want to prevent that from happening in the first place, I am within my right to prevent it. I think that the idea of saying that someone is being individualistic about their own home is funny to me, and saying someone is breaking the culture about wanting peace in their own home, all of this stuff is funny to me, because the pronouns the possessive nouns of my, and I are in these things. It's my home. If I don't want this, then I don't want this. I'm within my rights to do that. And I think what people are forgetting as well is that with mothers anyway, when they give, the hormones are up, down, If I don't want stress, and this person has brought stress any other time, I'm sorry. I don't care. Right now, the culture is not what I care about. The culture
Is a big stress every other time.
every time. The culture is the least of my worries,
Exception
bro.
of the relationship. You brought
Bro!
stress. You brought drama to me.
And somehow I'm going to sit here and expect that. I just think that this whole idea of this person, everybody in one way or another, living in the Western society, you're breaking the culture. Everybody's doing it.
But then again, this is why the whole when you marry someone, that whole thing. Some people, the whole bring back to even an individual thing. They will say, I'm just marrying them. I'm not marrying their family.
See, I don't believe in that.
And see, this is where a problem could be. If you're already having that mindset of I'm just marrying you.
Yeah.
I'm not marrying. We're already
Exactly.
we're already
I
at a loss.
find it interesting that the experience of Black Yoruba women and how they want the future to be in their household is different than the gaze of a Black Yoruba man.
Do you know why that
It
is?
pertains to the mother.
Yeah.
And
you know,
the cultural stuff
Yeah.
that they don't want. Can't you not see that both of y'all are saying, hey, you may not understand how this woman might edge me to the point where it is I'll cut everybody in this house. And I'm asking you, if you want love, if you want me sweet, hey, go and talk to that woman.
Because Ben, do you know what's funny about that though? And the reason why it is different.
And then the man's just saying, take the culture, take the culture,
take the culture, stomach
take
it,
the culture,
stomach
take
it,
the culture.
stomach it. But you know what's mad is because it's the experiences of women. Because even the mother-in-law, yeah, when she tells you about when her mother-in-law came to her house to do it, she would tell you that she would have rather she wasn't there. So do you know what I mean? And this is what frustrates me, because it's like you lot keep talking about the culture has been alive for 1,000 years. It's been 1,000 years of oppression in certain situations. It's been 1,000 years of foolishness, of unhappiness, and I'm breaking the generational trauma. I'm breaking it.
Break it. So what is it? Tell me. I don't know why
Gosh.
that thing was there.
You're not allowing a Trinidadian to come in and cause problems amongst us.
Because the Nigerian men,
God
that's not
forbid.
making sense.
I'll
You
start
and
calling-
Black Rob are not making sense. The Nigerian men that should be entering this conversation, speaking sense, are not making sense. Yes, I tap in
I'm not
honorary.
trying to cause
honorary.
division. I'm not trying to cause
The division is
division
caused.
between
When
Bollocks.
I stand,
Bollocks.
there's an honorary Yoruba man.
Listen, Esther.
Honorary Yoruba man.
Esther,
Break some rules for yourself.
we are the same culture. You cannot escape me.
You're part Ghanaian too.
We are the same.
Tell me something.
You're part me, part Gina. Move, man.
What was my point?
Good.
God damn it.
That's the work of Ogun.
Now we're talking about the generational trauma of it.
Why is it that it's a great question? If it is you sit down with that particular woman and you say, can you remember when it is that you were raising your child and that particular mum came in? How did you feel? Why is it incumbent on them to just repeat
Because
this?
it's culture. It's tradition. And when it's tradition, we don't break it. Because do you know how many, like, and it's funny because whenever people say, like, my mindset is very, like, Western and da-da-da-da, do you know how many older women that are raised, as in, like, they were raised back home, they know about the culture, they've been married, they've been da-da-da-da-da, as in married women, married to Nigerian people too. And they tell me, like, they say to me, when you're going to get married, make sure this, make sure that, because I went through this, my sister went through this, da-da-da-da. So even these older women in their own spaces are trying to get the younger women to move, to live differently to how they lived. Because they're like, yeah, you can embrace the culture, but there's certain things that we can do without. And then but then when I repeat it, it's oh my gosh, here you are breaking Yoruba land and breaking the tradition and da-da-da-da-da. These women, I always say to you people, that's why whenever we have conversations about marriages and all that kind of stuff, I say, how many of you actually sat down, especially when people want to make reference to like how it was done back in the day and how women today are da-da-da-da and men da-da-da-da. I always say, how many of you have actually sat down with your grandmothers, with your mothers, and asked them about how their marriage was? and listen to the advice they give you. I do those things. I do that. I speak to the older generation. I speak to people that I look at and I admire, and they're very enriched in the culture. They live in Nigeria. I do these things. And the advice I get, the way I live, it comes off the advice of the people older than me. So that same culture you speak of, the same traditions and what, I am getting it straight from the sources. And some of the things they're saying, do you know what, we can do without that, we can't do it that way, we can do without that because da-da-da-da-da-da. But not many of you who want to uphold said tradition, who want to uphold said culture, you don't sit down and have conversations. My grandparents raised me. You don't sit down and have conversations with your grandparents. I was blessed enough to know my great-grandmother. I knew my great-grandmother, like saw her every day, spent time with her, that kind of stuff. I was blessed enough to have those relationships. A lot of you don't sit down and have those relationships. Even if you haven't got your grandparents around, sit down with your aunties and your uncles and actually speak to them about marriages and speak to them about relationships and speak to them about all these things. A lot of you are sitting here trying to push culture, trying to push tradition that you don't understand. You don't understand, and because you want to feel like you have some kind of connection, you're not opening your mind up to see what the effects of these things are in today's society. Some of these things are unrealistic for today. Anyway, all the best to all parties involved. That's as I always say. This is how I live. It works well for me. All the best to everybody that's involved. Some of you will never cross my path.
At the end of the day, all of us are Yoruba people, and we all care about the culture. We all care about ourselves, innit? At least our hearts are in the right place. That's what I'm going to say.
So. Some of your hearts are
what was Brent trying to do, please?
Brent was trying to divide us.
He wasn't.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't. Brent made sense.
You know, I actually wasn't.
He actually wasn't trying to divide.
Wasn't.
Well, that was the result, goddammit.
It's so interesting during these types of debates, right? These discussions. I like when somebody calls in, let's say a black rum, let's say if it's a man on the other end, right? If you're not saying what you think or I've put onto you that you're saying, I beg you, and tell me exactly what you're saying. Make the statement, and I'll talk to that. Because sometimes we can be arguing one particular point that this particular person isn't arguing, and we will stand firm in that point thinking that that's what the person said. So I don't know if this happened here.
It did, Brent.
But
It did.
It did, because everything I said,
I only heard Esther say, right?
Ciao.
And I think also I may be projecting my own experience with my family in here. And I know that certain mothers could be difficult when it is that they're going into a new family, obviously still their sons or their daughters, and they feel as though they know what is right. Don't talk back to me. Follow everything I say. And the wife may not want that at all. At all. And the thing is, you would have the son speaking to the mother saying, I beg you. Like, I have suffered you. You understand? I know you.
But please.
But please.
I know you've been here before.
I'm going to get the grief. Do you understand? And now I'm placed in between my mother and my wife. And you're only here for a short time.
Bro.
The thing is, when you deep it, what you're asking or forcing onto her or the child, I didn't agree with. Do you understand? So F me to basically just bend over just because of culture. I can't do that. But I've been the person who's bucking the trend that of things that I feel don't serve me. I've been that person, so I have no problem doing that, right? I could care less if it is somebody turns to me and say I'm not perpetrating or carrying on the culture. I could care less. If it doesn't serve me and my family,
Bro.
it's gone. So when she said what she said, I'm not hearing her saying that she can't come, right? But I beg you, when you come, make my life easier. Don't cause more stress. Do you understand? Because you're supposed to come to alleviate it. You're supposed to come to help. And that's how I was seeing her saying what she was saying.
No, that's how I saw it as well. So
And if Black Rob was coming to say, I agree, then cool, you agree. Then what are you arguing? Are you arguing something else? If so, let's just focus on that. Do you understand?
100%. I feel heard. I do have a theory. I don't think people will listen to me. Some of you don't like me so much. When I speak, they just don't hear it.
Yeah. Well, and when obviously Maya chimes in, right? Because he's not specific sometimes. Purposefully,
Yeah.
it annoys me because I can see you getting edged. And I know what happens when it is you get edged. The entire room is flames.
Because you know what? One thing I hate in my life, I hate having dumb conversations. And I'm like you in the sense of like, if something serves me, respectfully, I don't care. So a lot of times, like my annoyance comes from the fact that I'm having to have this conversation about something that I don't care about. But with Iman anyway, I know how Iman thinks. I don't agree with Iman, the way Iman thinks. The way, respectfully, the kind of man Iman is the kind of man I run away from because our mindsets don't align. And that's okay. Like, I accept that that's how he thinks. He accepts how I think. And we keep it moving. But my issues don't call in trying to convince me of such. Shut up.
So Jinan just said something.
I don't care.
Jinan just said something, right?
I want to address someone in the chat because he's annoying me.
Jinan just said something. And she said,
No, I got time
I'm
for
that
that.
woman. I'm that woman who, doesn't matter if it is that this household is toxic, doesn't matter, I will bear it.
Yeah,
and
some people
I have
can do that.
also met women like that. Cool.
Yeah.
I am fine with that culture. I would just have to basically close my mouth. I don't think Esther's that woman.
I'm not.
And I don't think you're that woman either.
Close my. I'm half delivered.
So
No, yeah. I'm still working on.
No. When I say that, like,
Forgive me.
like
Let
I said
me
to you,
retract the bondage. It's not bondage. It's what you just
No,
choose.
that's funny.
It's what you
That's
choose.
what I tell her though.
It's what you
Yeah,
choose.
she
But
said
you
that. I said
can
that.
say you can
No,
say
but I
it.
said that.
It's unfair for me to say. It's
I
unfair
hold
for
my
me to
hands
say.
up. But the thing is, there's certain things I genuinely don't have an issue with.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just needs to come across in a certain way. For me, the problem is culture is the delivery. The delivery for me is what's annoying to me with the culture.
yeah.
It's very like, and there's no wiggle
room for
room.
nothing.
There's no wiggle room. There's no
No
nothing.
Vaseline.
And then if I say something now,
egg.
it's then deemed as disrespectful. And it's like, no, I'm not being disrespectful. So that's why I'm. Please, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm fine. I also understand the importance of carrying the culture. So
Yeah.
because I carry that in my heart and what I know I want my children to follow on from.
Yeah.
That's why it's not an issue for me. Also, I just want to address.
You got the mic, babes.
Sorry. What's his name? Mirad, because he always comes with these.
He's an egg.
He always comes with these
Certified
things.
egg.
He always comes in the comments, yeah.
Certified
And he was
egg.
talking about. He said, "Oh, however, if you question what is rooted in." No, sorry, something about we will know the ideology. If the guys say he doesn't want to pay dowry, then thinking, no, let's be clear.
Sorry, context.
If now the men decided they didn't want to pay the dowry, then we would be up in arms because that's not what we. That's what aspect of picking and choosing. No, that's not it.
So you know that we're talking about with the traditional wedding, you pay bride price essentially.
Yeah.
So it basically give you a list of like things to buy, that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily. It's not you're
Steven did
giving.
that. Steven bought some stuff because he got a list of stuff to bring and he had to carry
Yeah.
to the village.
So, but what they do actually is in traditional weddings, like sometimes you don't get there early enough to see the process of a traditional marriage, and you don't know the significance of it. But actually, what they do, they get to the point in the wedding, and they let you know that the things that because I think they give, there's part of it is always money. And essentially, what they do, they give you back the money because they say that our child is not someone that can be bought. That is part of it. So yes, the dowry is there because the dowry ends up being like stuff that everybody takes home and it's shared and whatever. So yeah, you have to do it culturally, but they let you know that she's not for sale.
Yeah.
We've given it to you because we see that you're a trustworthy person.
Yeah.
We see you come from a good family. We've met your people, we love you, and now you are our son. So there's no payment. There's no a payment thing.
Yeah.
But some of you will not wait long enough. And do you know what it is as well? What it comes down to is about just meeting people that meet you where you are. That's it. It makes life so much easier. If I met someone that I really, really liked and and it says to me, do you know what? The whole dowry thing, I don't really believe in it. X, Y, and Z, this is why. I'll be like, do you know what? I hear it then.
Yeah.
I hear it. Because I like you, I love you, and it makes what you said to me make sense. Some of you, anyway, I'm just stop there.
I feel like he's injecting the whole gender war thing.
He's a light-skinned black Rob.
I want to get some boots.
No, I feel like
Goats, sorry.
I want to. Actually, it's gonna sound very rude if I say it, so I'm not gonna say
And
it.
some cows.
Text it to me, I'll say it.
For the village.
No, it's fine. It's I don't want it to go there.
I like
But-
trouble. When people get me
No,
started,
I don't want it to go there.
I
But
like trouble.
I feel like I feel like he's thinking that we're picking and choosing based off because we're women and we don't want certain things. So, and that's not what it is. That's not what it is. There are certain things that if the men will come in and say it. Me personally, if a guy came and said he don't want to pay dowry, that guy's not for me.
I'll be honest
And
with
that's
you.
not because. And that's not because of a whole thingy. I'm sorry. That to me, you're not demonstrating to my family you are capable of taking me to your home. That's facts.
That's what it's
So
for.
if you cannot, if you're saying that's what you're doing, babes, bye. We don't even have a. We don't have a. We don't have a thing. We don't have a. We don't have a. We don't have issue. We don't have nothing to. We ain't got nothing to talk about.
So
that is why I would not. I would disregard a
But
person
you know
like
what's
that.
mad? They don't know the significance of what the dowry is.
So
of course you took out your
So
ass.
that's not why. That's not. So anybody.
Dirty
So,
ass.
but again, if he came back and said, oh, he's got. But then again, I don't have an issue with doing certain things. As it pertains to like in the culture as Yoruba women in the culture, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's why I said the whole baby thing. There can be certain guys. If I marry Interculture now, that whole bathing thing would have been an issue.
100% it would have been.
They would think, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's part more? They're gonna be thinking you're gonna sting the baby's eyes. What are you doing? so let's be clear. There are certain things I'm 100% for.
Yeah.
My only issue with the culture conversation is, I'm just, let's be clear. I'm very proud, and I'm very proud you're a woman. But there are certain things that they like to carry where it becomes now a line of disrespect, and they will die on the hill of, well, because I'm an elder, you ain't got no say here. But the delivery is disrespectful.
Yeah.
They can call you names, and if they call you names, and you got to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
That aspect of culture, I'm sorry, I don't like.
And when you get old enough to be an elder to others, would you be carrying on that particular tradition of talking down to them in a manner in which you didn't like when it is that you're looking up to them?
No, because
So
even
you're gonna
remember
be a
when I
fine
sent you that
example.
clip. Remember I sent you that clip about the whole elders thing. You was like, "Oh, we're gonna do away with the culture of certain
Wait,
things."
what did Miles say?
Remember you
He
said
said that
and
he
I
was doing
said
the culture?
and I said
Wait a
this
minute.
is, and I said
Are
this
you
is
quoting him
Wait,
or paraphrasing?
please, I missed it. Go back.
You quoting or paraphrasing?
what?
When he was
say?
speaking to Emmanuel in private,
What
was he
happened?
saying something else?
No, he wasn't saying. He was
No,
saying the
say
same
what
thing.
I'm
No, he
saying
was saying the
now.
same thing.
I'm consistent,
and I said,
baby.
and I no, he was saying the same thing.
Wait. Did you just say
so
that he
annoying.
said that you would do away with the culture?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
that's
we
the
don't do
risk
certain
of-
things,
yeah,
I'm
that's the
saying
risk of-
that's what I said. That's what I
You
mean.
don't think that's killing it? People are
Wait, he's saying, oh crap, if this doesn't continue.
No,
the
he
way I
doesn't
know-
believe in. He doesn't like. I was basically arguing the point that the elders like to say you need to show respect. You need to show respect.
yeah.
That's a fundamental thing.
yeah.
And don't get, I agree. I'm not saying you shouldn't show respect.
yeah.
And whether there was a whole debate panel with the younger and the elders,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the younger were like, they don't like this attitude of I should just show you respect just because
Yeah.
you're the elder kind of thing.
I agree with that.
And that should, and it's just a given that there should be things. And then the person brought up an example of if there's like, it was based in Nigeria obviously, and he said, oh, if the guy, they found out that he's stolen something, he's a politician, he's stolen all this kind of money or whatever, and I see him on the street and you want me to respect him, they were like, no, so are you going to judge him? Are you going to judge him? And the guy was like, yeah, I am. I don't need to show you respect, but because of the kind of person that you are. They didn't believe that though.
What's your take on that, Emmanuel?
And I was basically saying I agree with that
With the youngest?
stance.
No, Christy, listen, because if it's different to what he said in the DMs, I would like to know.
You know I don't lie. I said
Sounds
I said no. I agree with it. However, the problem is if we all take that stance, we'll lose the culture because anyone can pick and choose who they decide to show respect to.
So-
this thing, when we show respect, when we go down, it's just to show respect to the fact that you are older than us.
This is my problem with when it is that we talk, because that specific scenario is what I'm
Yeah.
asking you about. And you say that you agree with them,
Yeah.
but if this continues in the same vein, the entire culture is going to be
No,
gone.
no, I agree with the fact that, I understand. I should say I understand why you don't want to show this person respect. However, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to go and show respect to this particular person because I understand the implications of that. And that is that anyone at any given time, depending on how you feel, because this could be based on emotions, right? People will now be justified in saying, I will not do this to this particular
So
person.
what you're saying is that you don't agree with their stance. It
Yes,
should.
I understand it, but I don't agree.
All
yes.
right, that's what I'm looking for.
exactly.
All right,
And that's
cool,
what I
cool,
said to Christy.
Sorry, go. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So he's remaining consistent. Yes.
100%.
Carry on to
And
this. Let them destroy the country, and we will still pay them respect.
No, we'll
And that's what I
no.
don't like.
Brent, but
And
you know,
that's
that's
what I
actually
don't
part
like.
of that's actually part of the issue in Nigeria though, is that this whole respect, that's why I said the respect thing, it needs to be revised. We need a revised edition. Because it is that we've got thieving politicians and stuff like that, but it's like you can't speak to them because respect. When NSARS happened and they were killing these young people anyhow, Trina, they were nothing. When the young people were crying out, do you know what these politicians were saying? Oh, our children. They were like, don't call us your children because this is, again, the kind of language you use to try and subdue us to be a thing of, oh, you need to show us respect. No, it's not about that. Respect is given to who deserves it. You can't just say because you're an older person, you automatically deserve the respect. Of course, by nature, like I'm a respectful person. But however, if you're a disrespectful person, your age is not why I'm going to keep respecting you. Who you are, whether you're my mom's sister, my mom's brother, all of that stuff is not why I'm going to keep respecting you when it is a thing where you do not deserve this respect. And this mindset of respect in our tradition is so harmful in so many ways. It's harmful in the way that politicians are not called out, where they will go and do the foolishness they do, and then they get voted in again. It's harmful in when it comes to abuse within the family, where it's like, well, this person, that's the elder, so we're not going to say if we're going to keep it because you know who this person is. It's so harmful in so many ways that it's so... Sometimes with the conversation that we have where we're doing hypotheticals is reductive because the actual harm is causing people. It's beyond the conversation that we're having, but people don't want to address that part because, like, oh, you're being extreme, you're taking it too far. Because they're unaware of the kind of harm this mindset can cause, it's like, oh, no, that's not really realistic. That doesn't really happen. No, it does happen. This whole thing about respecting elders just because of the fact that they're just older and the people that are not worthy of being respected is causing so much harm and so much damage to people's individual lives. Even within the family, there's people within the families where, like, the family relationship is a mess on account of this whole respect thing. I think when we have this conversation, these are the kind of things that I think about when it is I have the mindset that I have, when it is I'm making arguments and I'm making the points I'm making, because I'm thinking beyond myself, because I know how it is that I live, but I'm thinking beyond myself. I'm thinking of different scenarios. This whole idea of respect is very, very, very harmful. And unfortunately, because people see it as tradition, they must go under tradition. And so when the harm is pointed out, it's like, well, you know, that's our tradition. That's how it's always been done. It is harmful.
Do you know what it is? I think you have to understand what I'm trying to say. It's not a case of regardless of what this person does, you continue to show respect forever. It's not a case of that. Remember, I don't think that was the aunties and uncles stance. There was saying
No,
that.
because he literally specifically mentioned if he done, look, and I know why he did that, because he knows the people in power do exactly the same thing, but you lot are caping for the people in power.
You're talking about what the young guy said.
Yeah, because he
I'm
used
saying
certain...
the elders. I'm saying the elders. I don't think that was their point.
As soon as he said that, he said, "Who are you to judge?" Auntie was like, "Who are you to judge?"
Yeah.
See?
I'm not agreeing with that part. I'm talking about it's kind of like this.
judging.
It's kind of like this. Even if you saw this person was, because when we say, I think a big thing that African people do, as a sign of respect, is that we refrain from calling people by their first names. For example, right? Even if you saw somebody that you thought was, I don't know, some type of person, I'm still saying that part of culture where we still would say uncle or Mr. this or Mrs. this is something that we should keep, because if we don't, that particular part of the culture goes. I'm not saying that you give the same person respect for days as if this person's an amazing person. The person's a criminal. The person was responsible for NSARS and all these type of things. No, you treat with them how they need to be treated. 100%. We can't tolerate nonsense within the culture. But what I'm saying is, if we get to a point where before anything, certain things that we may show to an elder, like I'm saying, the Mr. this or auntie and uncle this, if we remove that based on how we feel just from the onset, then anyone will be justified in removing that also. And then you'll cease to have it in your culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we have to find a way of still respectfully calling them by their name or rather not out of their name, right? And getting them the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just accepting the rubbish. I'm not saying we should accept the rubbish. You know what I'm saying? Life is valuable. You know what I'm saying? Without life, there is no culture. So, but I'm also saying, look, there's certain things in our culture that's a practice. Let's keep the practice, but kick out the people. Again, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
There is a psychology behind looking at people as aunties, uncles, and these other titles that relate to like personal relationships and stuff that will affect you from being able to call out them for nonsense. Because hella aunties and uncles deserve to be called out, but aren't called out because, again, you've grown up as saying auntie and uncle. And so when it is that you want to call them out, it becomes a case of, but that's your auntie or that's your uncle. You can't speak to them like that. So even that auntie and uncle thing, that's another conversation I don't want to hear my opinion on. But yeah, it's tricky. And I do want to address somebody else in the chat, actually. I think it's SLM86. I think that's the name of your profile. But you know it's you. This is not a debate show. It's not a debate show. I saw a few times there saying you don't understand why it is that I guess I'm taking personally someone calling up on a debate show, and you literally made the comment a few times. This is not a debate show, so I will absolutely, within my rights, find it irritating that whenever I make a point on this show, on this here platform, it becomes a thing of, okay, let's try and do a back and forth. I don't care for back and forths. I always say the irony of what it is that I do. I don't like talking. I don't like talking. But yeah, love, this is not a debate show. So this is not back chat. This is not where you call up and start doing back and forth and such. I think call up, make a point, that's great. But unfortunately, there is a pattern of Black Rob always feeling as though he just has to disagree with something I've said, or just has to be combative, just something, and it's irritating to say the least. That's the nicest word I can think of, because the spirit within me wants to be very cheeky. I'm really trying to hold it back. So I think we move on before
Indeed.
I get that spirit out.
Let's move on.
Thank you.
I didn't
guess
wake up
we-
with smoke. I
we
think I
can-
was quite mild today.
Yeah.
What the hell are we? What kind of revisionist history is this?
I don't understand how.
You said, Rich, where are you?
Yeah, Rich is my man.
No!
You brought spirit in this room.
I can't believe the Rich one. I'll be real with you.
He's in his cold shower currently. Still.
It's on site when you're Rich.
Rich.
It's
I
on
love
site.
it. No, I love Rich. I do.
It's on site.
No, I
for,
do.
for a bit of
That-
razzle dazzle, we're throwing Ramsey in here as well.
Fairly human.
Yeah, that was it. No, but that was just for my point, just to make my point. That's all it was. It wasn't trying. I'm not trying to take shots.
Too late.
I'm not trying to, there's certain person in the chat I'll definitely take shots at, but not Rich.
Right then.
Well, guys, I hope you lot got your Discord thingies and all of that. It's the only show where this type of stuff
End
happens.
that
you know what I'm
room
saying? No, I'm saying after this, people can talk about this. You know what I'm saying? It's the only show we can do this every day. You know
That's
what
true,
I'm saying?
actually,
So
yeah.
make sure you're subscribed, like the comments. Doesn't matter who you agree or disagree with. You know what I'm saying?
If you got anything else to say, go take it to Discord.
Take it there. That's it, man.
And don't at me. Don't. I have admin. admin.
Admin rights.
Power. Exactly. I will block your account.
Yeah, sometimes what I don't understand sometimes is like there's certain personalities on this show, and everybody who's like a day one listener should know by now, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking to basically look to argue with Margs, go to sleep. Don't bother, right?
Bro.
Because you know exactly what you're getting. If it is you looking to argue with thing, get your tea, your crumpet, because Emmanuel will be here forever. Just that, until it is you can see it, he will be here. Just that. You'll know. Just that. For your circumference, you'll know.
Come on,
You
man.
know what it is.
You know we're coming up to 2 years of TDA.
Wow.
I'm not trying to go into the third year with this energy, man. You don't know what it is by now. I will speak. I will reply.
I didn't even think that topic was even gonna go this way.
You started
They
with the
find
rich
a way,
stuff.
man.
Gosh,
It's true, you know.
I'm provoked.
And we didn't even get into the interreligious part.
Exactly.
Another
can't do
day.
that,
We'll
man.
do that another day.
Another day.
Another day. I'm going to tear singlets.
What was his name?
Another
Mo.
day. Bring me back on.
Bring up Mo,
Yes.
man.
What was his name? Mo?
Yeah, man. Senegalese Mo, man. Big
Yeah,
up Mo.
Senegalese Mo.
Yeah, man.
Be right, you're getting blocked.
He's
man.
a great
This
guy,
is
man.
Long overdue.
All right. Well, speaking of religion, trigger warning on this one, guys. You don't have to put a trigger in front of. In fact, sorry, this is trigger warning because there's a trigger involved in the story. I think. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to be. Anyway,
My friend just
Official-
read the story. What? I'm so done with you.
let's scrap that part.
Start again.
Trigger warning. So officials have said that a woman clad in a trench coat and accompanied by a child opened fire in a crowded Texas megachurch before she was gunned down by security. The suspect, named by police as Janice Yvonne Moreno, she was 36. She was with her 7-year-old son, who was critically injured in the Houston shootout as well. Investigators said that the attacker had Palestine written on the butt of her rifle, and they had uncovered anti-Semitic writings as well. But they said the motive is unclear. The gunwoman's unnamed son was shot in the head during the shootout and is currently fighting for his life. This is what police have said, but it's not clear who shot the boy. Public records indicate that Moreno also had a long record of arrests and convictions on assault, drug, and weapons charges. She previously went by several other aliases, including Jeffrey Escalante, and is variously listed as male and female in official records. Anyway, Police described her in a news conference as a Hispanic female. By the way, this mega church was the Joel Osteen's.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah. Next
So
headline.
wait, sorry. Did they know what her motive was? Or?
No, they're saying they don't know. They don't know. All they know is that obviously she went in there shooting. They've killed her, and it said she had Palestine written on the butt of her rifle.
Ah.
Yeah. And
What?
Yeah.
Palestine.
Yeah. So I think she's a supporter of Palestine.
Oh, because she's thinking because it's a church, Israel.
Perhaps.
You don't even know some. Anyway.
They've also uncovered
your boots.
anti-Semitic writings as well. So maybe that was in her room or something. Next thing is the house of a Sikh activist. We spoke about this man as well. In Canada has been hit by gunfire in the second such incident this month, reigniting fears of an apparent transnational campaign of violence and intimidation targeting Sikh separatists. So a construction crew found a bullet hole in a window of an unfinished house in the city of Brampton in Ontario on Monday, this according to the US-based group Sikhs for Justice. The property belongs to Inderjeet Singh Gosal, who's a vocal proponent of a decades-long but now French demand to carve out an independent Sikh homeland from India called Khalistan. So Peel Regional Police confirmed that one bullet hole had been found, and they said that they could not rule out that more shots had been fired at the house as well. For those who don't know, we did speak about this, I think, sometime last year as well, but the Khalistan movement is a separatist movement seeking to create a homeland for Sikhs by establishing an ethno-religious sovereign state called Khalistan in the Punjab region. And the last headline, I may butcher these names, so forgive me, guys. But lecanemab and donanemab, these are two.
Nail it.
These are two groundbreaking new drugs, right? Which represent a step forward because they target one of the causes of Alzheimer's and are said to slow down the early stages of the disease, which is the most common form of dementia. Apparently, these two drugs, anyway. The NHS says it's not ready to roll out these drugs, which could be licensed this year. To be eligible for either drug, patients would have to be in the early stages of Alzheimer's and have had a PET scan or a lumbar puncture to confirm high levels of amyloid in their brain. Currently, only 2% of dementia patients receive either of these gold standard methods of diagnosis. This is according to Alzheimer's Research UK. NHS England says that the pandemic had a significant impact on dementia diagnosis rates, but as of November 2023, they are the highest that they've been in 3 years. It adds that a dedicated program team has been established to accelerate NHS preparations for the rollout of any future Alzheimer's treatments. And that's it for the headlines, man. It's time to pay the bills.
Okay, let's get into Word on Road. Oh, Mug's not even here, man. Big up Scissor's Hive. But basically, she's the first black female artist to spend over a year in the top 10 of Billboard 200 chart. Wow. I think that's absolutely amazing. For her, the album called Snooze? Was it SOS? It's called something. But big up Scissor, man. I love that for her because her fans were really dying. These were dying for it. So that was great. I just wanted to shout her out for black excellence. Usher got married, man. He's married. I love men that love marriage, you know. He got married. So I talked yesterday about him and his, now wife, obtaining a marriage license last week. And yeah, it's been confirmed that they did get married on the 11th of Feb. So that was 2 days ago. So that was on Sunday. Aw, cute. But yeah, obviously it makes it all funnier, the whole Alicia Keys thing. That was so funny. People are like, oh, that's somebody's wife. Someone's husband too. But anyway, so yeah, what's being reported is that they got married and their close friends and family were there. They got married in Vegas. Obviously, he was there for Super Bowl and whatnot. And yeah, they both look forward, this is what a source is saying. These sources look forward to continuing to raise their children together, surrounded by love, and thank everyone for their well wishes. That is just so sweet, man. I love a marriage. They look really sweet together and really cute. So big up him for that. But on the word of Usher, obviously, yes, he was trending anyway. I think they've said as well, the Super Bowl is the most watched in history, I believe, which is sick. That's absolutely amazing. I did go back to watch Rihanna's one. Hers was so sick, you know. I forgot how sick it was until I watched it again. I said, yeah, whoever mixed it, big up them. But yeah, so speaking of Usher anyway, Swizz Beatz has addressed You Bad Vibes, what's it called? carriers. Because obviously, Alicia Keys, so they sang My Boo together, Usher and Alicia Keys. And obviously, he was hugging up on her and whatnot. Because it's part of the act. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Alicia Keys and Usher singing My Boo social distancing. Get in there. Get in there, loves.
How about you, Manuel?
I want to see all of that.
Let me show you the. Did you see the embrace?
Warm
I think I
embrace.
saw a clip. Like he was behind her, innit, or something, innit?
Yes.
How about you? Would you like your wife to be serenaded?
Look
by
how
Usher?
she's laughing. Oh, I know that laugh anywhere.
Imagine. So that people on shows could be
That's a
talking about
good laugh.
this.
Yes.
about me.
I'll be sat right
Impossible.
opposite you,
Impossible.
Yeah, but
reporting what happened.
I don't understand. Given the track record of
The
Usher,
acting.
Yeah.
no, but we know Usher. Why would you think he was gonna come in here and come on the Super Bowl do anything
Listen,
different?
because you know what made me when I was watching the performance, I remember when I was younger and I would see like certain artists like collaborate, and in my mind there were couples. So I used to think Nelly and Kelly were going out. I thought Ja Rule and Ashanti were going out. Like if you could have a song together, in my mind y'all go together. So if this was very nostalgic for me because I was like, I really like the fact that you are embracing the music video. Yes, get up in there and share breaths with each other. I absolutely love it. Anyway, Swiss Beats addressed all of y'all. And do you know what we love in this world? Nothing is more attractive than a secure man. Beautiful. He posted the picture as well of their warm embrace as well. And he says, you're talking about the wrong damn thing. Y'all don't see that amazing dress covering the entire stadium. Her dress was amazing though. Bloody hell, her dress was amazing. And it was a jumpsuit. It was attached. And he said, tonight's performance was nothing but amazing with two amazing giants. Congrats, Usher, and my love, Alicia Keys. That song is a classic. We don't do negative vibes on this side. We make history. Gosh. He's so attractive. Go see Giants at Brooklyn. It's open. That's promoting his own stuff. Beautiful. I love a secure man.
Question. So
Love
Chris
it.
Brown, he serenades women a bit differently, right?
He does. Takes you down.
Would you like your man to be as secure as Swiss Beats when Chris Brown serenades you on stage?
Yes, because I will be that secure when Victoria Monet is serenading my man on stage.
But how Chris Brown serenades?
Have you seen how Victoria Monet serenades?
Let me just Google.
She got her a man from a music video.
Monet.
They're together with a kid and all sorts. I don't care about stuff like that, especially because I think it's about the person you're dating as well. If you're in the entertainment business, you're gonna do collaborations.
This is what Ibai was talking about losing culture.
Is this guy away?
Because the aunties would never.
The answers would never. I tell you though, behind the scenes, the answers are throwing their imaginary bras at the TV. Okay. I don't know what your aunties were up to. Listen, they had friendly pussies.
No, but I think
You don't know.
when you're in the entertainment industry, I think
It's what happens, man.
and you're both in it. I think there's a level of you're gonna understand.
Grace, love.
You're gonna understand certain things.
Doesn't
Obviously,
count,
me
right?
as a regular civilian,
And he took a flight.
I can't
Not
entertain
anything.
that.
That was stupid.
No, I'm not.
Not
I'm
anything.
I'm not entertaining that as a regular civilian.
You can't be lip sync talking about you're not in the entertainment business. Oh, is that right? No, you can't be doing all that stuff. But again, if I'm dating someone who's a musician, you're going to do collaborations. And when you guys do the videos, you have to sell the product. Go on, baby. I'm going to be like Kris Jenner with the camera. Be like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. And listen, stuff like that don't bother me, man. I'm not here for it. If it's not, do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're both married people. And Usher definitely respects Swizz Beats and respects Alicia Keys as well. It ain't no problem. Anyway, big up Swizz Beats, man. We love a secure man. They're very rare and very hard to find these days.
I mean, no offense, but his track records anyway. So I don't know why. He would not. I don't know why he would not. Like he would have to be because given his track record, he's serial cheater. Please,
Oh, serious?
get out of here,
So
man.
she's due a few.
Oh,
All right. Then.
She's what?
She's due a few.
I did not think you were going to repeat it. I thought you would catch yourself. Anyways, right? Tyrese is back up in the news, but I just thought this was so sweet, man, because, you know, I said love people that deal with love issues and heartbreaks and stuff like that. But anyways, Tyrese decided to share something with us that we don't need to know. I hope that, I really do hope Tyrese is in therapy and stuff, and like, because sometimes people just overshare, and I don't want to police how people's outlets. But sometimes I'm like, you can overshare, but I hope you're also doing work behind the scenes. Anyway, Tyrese posted a picture of him and his ex-girlfriend, right? And he said, Tyrese TV, my Super Bowl plans are effed, power outage in my neighborhood, so I'm going at him. Tyrese is going for a lot. And then he said, and me and Zelly, you just broke up over some dumb shit. Remember this, he said. She demanded that I cancel my album because there's too many songs about my ex on there. What does that mean? This is what Tyrese said. But you know what killed me? And people are so mean on the internet. So mean. And then someone said, yeah, in the comments, losing your relationship over an album you don't even want is crazy. And I just thought, you know Tyrese reads comments as well. he reads the comments and he sees it. But I don't know, I did think that though, like if your partner was a musician and they're working on a project, and majority of the project is about their ex, like how are you feeling about that? I had to think about that one. I thought, no, actually, I think I'll be fine because it's an outlet. But you have to be in actual therapy, though. I don't believe that whole music is therapy shit. Excuse me, close your mouth. No, it's not. You have to be in actual therapy to be a trained professional. Yeah, I think I might. But then who knows? Maybe he talks about his ex a lot. It's his ex. Obviously, he's got a recent ex now.
But is he talking about her in a negative way? Like, this is what I don't want.
No, but you know Tyrese don't talk about... No, you know Tyrese is like on the knees bending and shit. Like begging, dying for it. So if I'm your girl and I'm hearing you make tracks about, oh, I lost your rule one and you should have never let me. I should have treated you right. Because if you treated her right, that means I wouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. So you don't want me here. You know what? Maybe I'll stand with Zelly, actually. I don't know. But yeah, that's what's going on in Tyrese's side of life.
When is something not going on with that man?
Oh, no, I do hope he's like sorting himself out behind the scenes, man, because he's just saying it. All right. So on the UK side of things, actually on the UK side of things, I forgot to add this on there. Nala's baby is going to Tesco.
Oh, big up, man.
Big up. Nala's baby is going to Tesco. Is going to be available. So Crept posted yesterday saying it's happening. Nala's baby is launching in Tesco February the 19th. I'm going to pick up myself some products. Actually, I'm going to get some stuff because every time I go to beauty, sold out. So Tesco. Or do I feel like it's going to be sold out too?
As in you're going to get it for like your niece and nephews or for yourself?
For myself.
Also, do they do it or is it just it can be used for us as well?
I reckon I'm going to use it. It's going to work for me. If it's good enough for baby skin, let's get my skin soft like a baby boy. And also, he said they're releasing like a vanilla cloud body butter. Okay. Love a body butter. So I'm going to get there.
What's a body butter?
It's basically cream, but it's like in the way that it's kind of softer. It's like a
like shea butter.
Souffle kind of.
Okay.
No, not like shea butter.
Is it almost like...
but that's only like that.
Yeah, but when I think shea butter, I think of shea butter when it comes in like the rocks.
No, but when
it's got like pebbles and stones, you throw that at someone's head, they're done.
What, the
original one?
From back home?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about.
No, up to... Obviously, you can get it to the point where, like...
I get you.
Glides on the...
Uncultured swine. You should take it raw.
Of course.
Ew.
Raw. Obviously, at the essence.
Gosh.
Look at you guys.
I'm saying...
What would you prefer, Emmanuel?
What do you mean?
How do you prefer your shea butter?
My sister likes it like that. Just
I hate this room. I actually hate this room. I'm trying to talk about baby products. Yeah. Right, Nala's baby, Crept, and Sasha. Crept tweeted, it's happening. Nala's baby is launching in Tesco February 19th, next Monday, nationwide in 475 stores. That's amazing. And it says, and finally, the Vanilla Cloud body butter will be launching there too. There is another massive milestone for us. This is another massive milestone for us and our brand as we continue to grow. I know the vanilla butter is in high demand, so make sure you are fast on Monday because I know some of you will be clearing shelves. I need to know what stores these are because I take things like this very seriously. I hate shit being sold out. But big up. And it was so cute. He had pictures with him and Nala in front of the billboard and she's just so cute, man. Big up them, man. Do you know what it is like to actually create generational wealth for your kid? Absolutely amazing. So big up Nala, big up Crept, big up Sasha. And also, so yesterday I talked about the whole Congolese conversation that was been going on online and Zizi meals being cooked because people thought like she was imposing. Okay, Christy. People thought like she was forcing people to accept apologies quicker than they wanted to. And so I also told you guys about a tweet she made, and Madam Joyce responded to it. There's been a bit of back and forth between them. It's ended, but I will listen. Just have a listen. So, in relation to all of that stuff going on, Zizi tweeted, "Black people write think pieces all day about how we don't get no grace from others, how we often get harsher ramifications than others, only to do the same to each other. Hold people accountable, yes, but there's a thin line between holding people accountable and dogpiling." To which Madam Joyce quote tweeted saying, "I love and respect you, Zizi, but this statement is not consistent with your actions. I was dogpiled by the internet not too long ago, and you further fueled the fire by making a video. Considering we share the same space as black women, you did not extend that grace to me." Zizi then quote tweeted that and said, "The difference is you put a video out, which you know will become a talking point. It was an open discussion on the internet. This is not an open discussion. They did wrong. They apologized. Why are we still shouting at them? This is the same stance for Nella." She said, "I didn't necessarily agree with her, but I put out a video saying what was the point of dogpiling her." This was the whole Nella situation. "My stance is the same across the board. What I find interesting is you clearly," this is to Madam Joyce, "is you clearly have felt this for a while, but was all laughs and giggles on Wednesday." To which Madam Joyce responded saying, "Quite similar to you being in my show 2 weeks prior, sipping and kikiing with me to then jump on the bandwagon and further push the hate. Not even an are you okay? I'm just meeting you where you met me." To which Zizi said, "Joyce, we are not friends. I came on your show because you are young." Okay, everyone calm down. "Joyce, we are not friends. I came on your show because you are black. You are a young black woman doing your thing, and I respect it. Your video went viral, and like I have been doing for the past 5 years, I gave my opinion. Just because I came on your show doesn't make you exempt. The difference between me and you is that if I had an issue with you, I wouldn't be on the show. You waited for this moment to voice your issue when instead of DMing me to tell me how much you loved me and what an amazing job I had done the other day, you should have been saying this." And then Madam Joyce said, "I never put out the video. I never put the video out. I was on a podcast as a guest and the clip was cut out of context. You could have messaged me if you cared and I would have explained what was meant. Instead, you continue to push the narrative and watch me cook." She says, "We can't decide how people receive our content. If they're hurt, allow them to be hurt. Our only responsibility is to learn and grow from the situation, not police it." This is what Madam Joyce said. And then this morning, Zizi said, basically, where you guys gasped when she said, "Joyce, we're not friends," a lot of people were gasping at that and they were like, "Oh, this is such a mean thing. Zizi, you're a horrible person." Now, actually, I don't know if I should give my opinion on it because I didn't give my opinion yesterday for good reasons because you would have cooked. You thought you cooked me yesterday? Anyway, so basically the whole friends thing is one of those things where it sounds harsh, but it's real. If we're colleagues, or that if you come on my show, I came on your show, that doesn't make us friends. So I don't think it's a bad thing that Zizi necessarily said that. But I think the way society is set up, that sounds like something that's very harsh and very mean to say. But yeah. So Zizi basically said that, obviously Joyce is saying you were on my show, we were laughing, sipping cocktails. But Zizi is saying, yeah, but that was work. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I hear it. To be honest, I don't care for either of them to be doing this, to be honest. Because what the topic at hand was, I didn't need either of their input. Like Zizi saying what she came on and said, babes, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Let your people deal with what they have to deal with. In terms of Madam Joyce coming in to interject herself and to bring in an issue that she had you just jumped on the bandwagon. You just wanted to make it a personal issue between that. I
think you wanted to highlight the hypocrisy of don't tell people to show people grace and not pile on. Because I said yesterday as well, when I reported yesterday, I said obviously people brought up when Zizi went on Sky and was piling on Lani Good. So I think Joyce's thing was like, don't sit here being the moral police, telling people to stop dogpiling when your career, ma'am, you be adding fuel to fires regularly, and you even did it with me. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, to the whole friend thing, what's her name? Zizi then said this morning, ain't no way people are actually upset about me saying someone isn't my friend. It has to be a Gen Z thing. What business do I have calling anybody a friend if I don't have your number? Where you live, know how many siblings you have, know your birthday, etc. And then someone said, it's definitely how it was said though. Let's be real. You can't be nice to a colleague again. It's a Nigerian person. I've asked my colleagues plenty of times if they were okay. And then Zizi said, if my colleague is on her Insta stories saying she's loving it and throwing up memes, why would I ask if she's okay? She clearly is. Not necessarily. You can't really take how people present on social media.
That's what I'm saying. Her saying
as reality.
Her doing the whole friend, babes, don't do it. You know you're being shady. You threw that comment in to be shady.
Joyce didn't say we're friends either.
Exactly. You knew what that was gonna do. Don't try it. That's why don't throw the rock and hide your hand either. Don't do that. So I just think it's so silly, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
they didn't need Joyce didn't need to come and start jumping on the bandwagon of you. Clearly you had an issue that you was holding in, and you was waiting for that then, because why didn't you address it before?
But sometimes issues are addressed at the time that it needs to be addressed. At the time wasn't the time, man. But all the best all parties involved. Big up Zizi, big up Joyce. I know she's got an episode. I need to listen to it actually. It's on my watch list with Shally Poppy. And anyone, if you watch Cogs and Takeaway, Joyce loves Shally Poppy. So when I saw the preview, I was so happy. 'Cause I said, yes, girl, you gotta get it.
I watched the receipts.
With Shally Poppy in it. I haven't finished it. He was stressing me out. That's why I said I can't marry a man from back home like that. Because the way they think is different. He thinks the race is made up. Anyways, big up Shally Poppy, big up the receipts, big up everybody in this creative space. But I think that is a conversation that I've seen people have in the scene, and it's something to definitely consider, is that by working with somebody, are you automatically friends? No, but I do think there is a
courtesy.
I think there's a code in it. Me personally, and this is where I'm not going to say much about it. I'm just going to drop this point and exit. But personally, I think there's a code when it comes to being in this space. And I think that for the most part, at some point people get cooked, or you get backlash, or like, even if you don't get cooked on a massive platform like Twitter or whatnot, even within our shows, you get backlash, you get what you get in it. And I think that sometimes if you see that someone is going through something, you can extend a hand of grace or just check in. And I think someone posting memes and whatnot online doesn't necessarily mean that they're not affected by what it is, because you know that sometimes you posted memes and you know you want to tap throats. But that's just...
Yeah, but I feel like Zizi did that whole extending grace thing only came up because of who was getting the cooking. If it was anybody else, she wouldn't have come and said that.
Yeah, there's that too.
So
yeah, all the best all parties involved. And I hope everyone involved is cool and great. But that's it for me, man. This show was meant to finish ages ago. So let's get into People's Journal, please.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So I've got a few things to talk about, but not in like crazy depth. Bitcoin has hit $50,000, that level, for the first time since 2021, man. So a lot of people are really they're really happy about Bitcoin, man. Obviously, this is where you may get some FOMO as well, but I think long term, most people who believe in cryptocurrency believe that Bitcoin is going to be much higher than this anyway, much higher. So again, it's not financial advice. Do with the information what you will. But a lot of people believe that, you know, the recent ETFs that were that the US regulators backed last month probably aided this, and also the fact that there might be some halving as well. Not might be, there will be some halving coming up as well. That's making people believe, you know what, that's making the Bitcoin pump anyway. Next thing I wanted to mention is, obviously yesterday, you know, I was talking about the advice. Well, not really talking about advice, but just, you know, for the lovers out there who want to go to get nice Valentine's Day meals. For those of you who are even later than that and relying on Deliveroo and relying on them takeaway delivery drivers, please be careful, because a lot of these guys are planning to strike on Valentine's Day. Yes.
They don't want yo to love.
You know what I'm saying? So
they should strike.
So
they should strike.
So do what you need to do today. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So the action, which is impacting 4 food apps, including Deliveroo and Uber Eats, is it's going to be involving, what they're saying, roughly about 3,000 drivers and riders on Wednesday between 5 p.m. in the evening and 10 p.m. in the evening. Obviously,
They
PM.
knew what time.
You know what I'm saying? The pivotal time. So guys, please don't get caught out there. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them make you spend what you didn't want to.
No,
Invest, man.
You lot that's caught
Invest
up
in your
in
relationships.
you lot that's caught up in this Western romantic love.
Oh,
Fully.
shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
Christy, close your mouth. Christy, I love and respect you. Ma'am. Listen, I'm gonna be Western.
Commercialized.
So yeah, man, guys.
Bring me pounded yam.
There you go. Go tasty Enish.
Bring man.
To the show.
Bring me pound and yam with a side of flowers, hold. Ferrero Rocher, don't play with me.
Ferreros.
Yeah, no, bring me pounded yam and Ferrero Rocher.
There you go.
No,
I only know damn. Anyway, I'm not a flowers person, so. I can
I
What,
love
what about
flowers.
some Schlaer as well? Schlaer.
Schlaer slaps.
I'm
I would not let you do that to Schlaer.
Let me
Schlaer
tell you
slaps.
something.
Nah.
Listen.
Someone's not drinking.
No.
If anybody says that Esther is not a Yoruba woman, the fact that you can like Schlaer.
I love Schlaer.
What?
I'm sorry. Yes, the Nigerian chokehold.
No.
Is,
got,
is, no, you know what?
No, because I said my mother-in-law cannot come to my house. No. Remember, I'm not Nigerian. My mother-in-law is not allowed to stay 2 months in my house. How can I be Nigerian?
Unless you bring
done with
Schlaer.
How?
I'm done with
If
you.
you bring Schlaer, okay, all is
that
forgiven.
Schlaer, that Flemish is garbage.
Yeah,
I'm
Flemish
sorry.
Flemish is silly.
No, Flemish is
Schlaer?
alright.
Flemish is alright.
Better than
What?
Schlaer,
Oh,
man.
stop it.
What?
Flemish.
Look, they're both from the same tree.
No, we're not.
They
You
are.
are classless. You have no class.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, Flemish came out first, and then Schlaer came out, and then the Nigerians thought,
upgraded.
no, the Nigerians thought, yeah, I've arrived because I'm getting Schlaer. Get the hell out of here.
You don't know about Schlaer the
right.
mixer. I use Schlaer the mixer. It slaps, man. The Flemish is alright.
Well, anyway, guys. Also wanted to mention that the people who use 3, you know, the network 3. Yeah, I don't know why you're
They get the
doing
day
that.
they deserve.
Yeah,
They
man.
do.
I swear some people lost network. I know
That's
someone lost
exactly what
network for time recently.
Yeah, well, they've come out to apologize again because there's still people who are struggling with getting network. Still to this day. So I think the big thing happened on Saturday and Sunday, innit? Carried over to yesterday. Didn't mention it, thought it was all done, but it's not done. 3 are consistent, so it's still here today. So guys, if you're still wondering why, it's because you're on 3, nothing else.
One time I signed a contract with them, yeah, and in less than a day I called them back. I said, cancel it. I said, don't play with me. I said, don't play with me. I said, cancel it, and I'm not, like, cancel it right now. I had 3G. 3G. In an age where there's 5G, I had 3G. I said, cancel that right now. Right now. They couldn't pay me to stay there. Obviously, they want to do an ad. I'm absolutely having a great network. So there's that.
Next thing I want to mention, remember yesterday we were talking about the CEO of Access Bank who passed away sadly.
Oh, yeah.
Herbert Wigwe. Well, Access Bank have replaced him in terms of like putting in a new who's assumed the CEO position, and it's a wonderful black woman, man, who's doing great things, man. She's been the most senior founding executive director. She's been in banking for more than 30 years, and she joined Access Bank in 2003. Her name is Bolaji Agbede, and she is now the CEO. So big up her, man. And yeah, man, obviously, Mr. Herbert Wigwe will be missed, but I believe they're in good hands with her. Wanted to mention this other thing. This is very random. I don't even know why it's publicized like this, but there's a Chinese inmate, yeah, who is serving a 1-year jail term for theft in Ghana, and he has escaped while receiving medical care at a hospital in Accra.
What?
Yeah. So for our Ghanaians out there, if you see a Chinese man just wandering around, report him immediately. He must do his time. You can't be stealing from our people back home and then walking around freely, going to all the Kenke and... No, it's not.
They
It's
ain't
not.
reporting not a
They
damn
need to.
thing.
They need to.
That man is back in China. He's back home. He's back home. If you think the regular Ghanaian person is going to see that man on the street, he done quarter flight, jetted out, he's back home.
But just in
Laughing
case,
at y'all.
his
Laughing
name-
at TDA reporting this.
Yeah, right. Well, this guy, his name is Wang Jiao, and
No,
yeah,
babe.
I was gonna say
He's said to have been. He's said to have reported being sick last Wednesday, innit, and taken to a nearby hospital, but he escaped from the hands of the prison officers who had escorted him to the health
in the hands of
facility.
prison
I
officers.
don't know what happened.
I hear it there because, sorry, why am I doing prison in another foreign land?
Of course they.
You can't be stealing in the foreign land.
Oh,
You
you
deserve to be there.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Why did you come here?
So it's a
Way
dumb
more
shame.
Ghanaian than some people anyway.
Well, next thing I want to mention, obviously, we know a lot of Congo has been Congo. A lot of light has been shone on what's happening in Congo in the news.
Finally.
Yeah, man. And South Africa's president Cyril Ramaphosa has ordered the deployment of 2,900 soldiers to aid in the fight against armed rebel groups in the eastern DRC. So the troops will be posted as part of the Southern African mission in DR Congo, which was approved by the regional bloc in May of last year. So Malawi and Tanzania also will be contributing troops to the mission as well. And the mission is replacing the East African Regional Force, which left DR Congo last December, after the government deemed it ineffective. So hopefully these guys will go through and actually do something, man. We need to stop what's going on back home.
It would actually
People are
be
just
so
dying
great
for
if-
no reason.
After like years and years and years and years and years of them doing all that nonsense, it's able to be brought to stop.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But again, like most things, it's down to Africans to decide and do something.
This is it.
We can't allow external influences to come in and do this. They're benefiting from this. If we lock it down, we have a proper leader that will do certain things.
And this is the problem.
Yeah, but that's the
You
thing
know.
that sometimes the help from everywhere else, somewhere else is quicker than our leaders changing their mindsets or having the right mindset.
No, but I thought that the help from everywhere else is enabling the leaders.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a terrible situation, man.
Thank you, man.
The last thing I wanted to mention, big up Senegal as well. There's been some Senegalese lobby groups that have called for peaceful protests across the country on Tuesday today against the postponement of this month's presidential election. We spoke about this briefly yesterday. The Let's Protect Our Election, which is a newly formed political platform of about 40 groups, said that the protest will start at 1500 GMT, so 3 p.m. Protest organisers, who include opposition parties, have urged people to come out in large numbers despite the police ban. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it will be safe and it won't be any violence attached to it. But yeah, man, we need to stop all this corruption that's going on, man. Hopefully they can sort everything out. But for those who don't know, the president, Macky Sall, controversially pushed back the election, which was meant to be on the 25th of February, at short notice. And yeah, he's basically talking about the reason why he did it was over a row over the eligibility of certain candidates. You know what I'm saying? So he pushed all the way back to December, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, hopefully they can sort that out and we can get some real democracy, man, back home. But that's it for the People's Journal.
So our friend Heather,
Big up Heather.
she was at the protest on Saturday.
Nice.
Okay.
And I guess she just finished listening to the episode yesterday. She said, we went outside Apple and Samsung, both closed the doors, went on to the BBC offices, they called the police, then
No way.
moved us back to the barrier. Yeah, so she had to leave before they dispersed
Yeah.
as she had an evening engagement.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I think we had asked if, at the time
Anyone.
we had asked if they went to Apple.
Anyone want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pick up
Alright.
Heather. Thank you, babes. All right, let's get into asking for a friend. It's going nice and quick. Hi guys, my friend didn't back me in a fight. No. Hi guys. Hi guys. My friend didn't back my beef in a fight. Should I drop them out? Love the show. I'm a daily listener. Thanks.
Sorry, how old are we?
As in a physical fight. No, I listen, we've got no. We've got listeners of all ages.
Okay.
And I love that for us. Right? It depends why the fight.
I like
is-
that you're standing up for the listeners.
Always. They're my priority. Always.
But there was no. Is this a?
This is it. It's just my friend didn't back me. Well, you know, like, I don't know how old the person is.
There's
I
no
asked
context.
for more context. Never mind.
Yeah.
No context at all.
Stand up for the listeners, baby.
Because
Yeah, but okay. So if your friend didn't back in a fight, let's just forget we have no context out of that. Are you dropping them out? It's worth considering, but there's other factors to consider, and unfortunately, we don't have access to those other factors. But I would say I wouldn't straight up drop them out. I would actually have a conversation with them. Why didn't you support me when I was getting beat up?
So wait, they just said they didn't back my beef.
My friend
in
didn't
a
back
fi-
my beef in a
in a
fight. Is like a physical fight? I'm gonna guess it's a physical fight.
Yeah, that's what I need to ascertain.
It must be because it would say argument.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it must be a physical fight. They didn't back their beef. Should they drop them out? I say no. I say no. I say have a conversation with your friend about why they didn't back your beef. And I think also as well, if this is the first time, the first offense, fair. If you've been in several fights, I mean, first of all, you need to look into that as a person. But if you've been in several fights and every time they never back you, drop them out quick. That's an op. They might even be the ones setting up the fights. Because I don't know, my friend getting in a fight and I'm not backing them is wild. Even if it's to stop it, like, come on. And you're just standing on the side, like Joan. Remember, you guys ever watch Girlfriends? Anyone know? When they're all fighting and Joan was just in the corner.
Oh, I remember that.
Too much she didn't want to lose her legal license. Okay. But that's the thing. That's another thing though, because certain fights are just so stupid. I wouldn't get involved if it means me losing out on certain things because you wanted to be a fool and not have self-discipline and not control your temper. So do you get me? So there's so many factors.
So many,
for why. But I would have a conversation, and maybe they thought you were wrong. Maybe they thought you were wrong. Forget why. Scratch that part.
Question. Let's project ourselves into the mix.
No, you got 2 minutes.
Each scenario. 100%. Let's say you're wrong in the fight.
I'm wrong in the fight.
You're the wrong party.
Yeah.
But they're whipping your ass.
But my friend couldn't stand there.
All right. So you drop out in that scenario.
100%.
How about you?
Yeah, because what are we doing here?
You could at least try to stop it. I'm not saying you could have tried to stop it.
No, you'd want more to stop it, surely.
No. My spirit's died down. I'm back on the good side.
Serious? All right.
God works to me, man.
As in, you just want them to pull them.
I've been trying to stop it because not everyone is a fighter, and I think people have different personalities. Like some people don't like conflict. I don't like conflict. I don't like when there's too much arguing and stuff like that. It just makes me it just stresses me out.
Yeah.
So I understand people that like that. Obviously, my fight or flight, I'm fighting. But I can understand, I give grace to people that are not wired that way. So the least you could have done is try to stop it. Hell, call the police, something. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to.
No, I'm talking about physical.
That's
I got a phone
Wait,
call.
wait,
No,
How'd
physical.
you say like that?
I've been saying it on purpose. So, how about you, Manuel? You're in the wrong.
Yeah.
And Brent's watching you just get beat up.
They're weighing you in. And what do you expect from me? Yeah, I know it's impossible because
You're man, you're so strong. Oh my gosh.
What do you expect from me?
Yeah, stop the fight, innit? Stop the
What
fight.
is this stop the fight stuff?
Either
What?
jump in or stop the fight. That's it.
No, because basically,
These are two different options.
Yeah,
No, but that's
jump
what I'm saying.
in
Do
or stop.
something,
Yeah,
bro.
that's it.
No, but the point is, you can't just stand there and wait for them to finish beating me up and then you give me a lift home.
What I'm saying is that there shouldn't be an either or.
Okay, you're saying there's one response to this.
There's one response. That's it.
Yeah, back
Jump
in
in or stop it.
If I'm jumping in, I'm stopping the fight. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's not what I'm
Okay.
saying.
I was like, okay, King
I'm
Mike.
judging you.
Or for trying to stop the fight.
If you try to stop it, you haven't inflicted any harm on this person.
Oh, so you wanted to.
You're just trying to like, hey,
Hey,
stop
stop.
weighing him in. Nah, that's not friendship. That's not friendship.
You're saying your friend knew you were losing. And
I
so hey,
This is not
don't
friendship.
kill him.
And to be honest, if I'm seeing him in a predicament I had never seen before, just stopping it that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Grounds
Have
for
you guys
divorce.
seen that skit? What's his name? And then he's an American comedian. And basically it was like a whole situation about what the car ride is like after your boy just got beat up.
Yeah.
Was that Kevin Hart? Sure, I think it was Kevin Hart, you know.
No, I can see his name.
It's
And
not-
he had a white
yeah,
vest,
yeah.
and the vest was ripped to two.
No, I think I know the
And
video
then he
talk
was
about.
sat there and he just kept looking in the mirror. And everyone was dead silent. It was dead silent. Oh, that's the awkward right. That's why I keep saying I can't see my man get beat up.
Yeah, no.
That car ride is long. I'll probably go home separately, you know.
All right, cool. Change the question. We change the race of the attacker.
Oh my
Of
god.
the right person in this particular thing, but it's a white person. You're still in the wrong, but it's a white person weighing you in. Do you just want them to just stop the fight?
What? Wait, say that again.
Same scenario where you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Typically, I'm not changing that just for this scenario. Yeah.
Desi Banks. I'm so sorry. His name is Desi Banks.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
so, that's
yeah. Okay, go on.
hilarious.
But the attacker is a white person.
Okay.
What do you expect from your friend? a couple thumps before they stop the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said for the sake of reparations.
How about you?
No, listen, my response is the same thing. I don't care who the flipping race is.
Serious.
You need to help me. I can't be getting weighed in and you're just standing there. Do something.
You're getting it wrong again. This is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying do they just stand there silently. No. Do they jump in and give a couple kidney blows before they stop, or do they just try to pull them off?
No. My response is still the same as the first one. Do something. Either join in this fight.
What do you want them to do is what I'm saying.
Brent, I'm telling you what. You listen to me.
No,
I'm
you're
telling
just
you.
saying they could do one of two things.
Yeah, but that's my response.
doesn't
though.
mind
That's,
which one.
I don't care which one. Just do something.
Suppose
you can't stand there.
So I hear you saying that there are two options for you.
Yeah.
Suppose I've said only pick one of those two options.
Oh, then fight.
Aha, there we go. How about
Actually,
you,
no, but
Nadia?
then it carries on to be long.
Because the
too
fact
long
that that
now.
person said didn't back the beef, I feel like that person wants the person to fight.
Fight.
100%.
Yeah, but if I'm getting weighed in though, I think you should fight. If I'm gonna do one option, if I'm getting weighed in, Brent's right. So what's the card in that code?
Precisely.
You should be getting beaten up, didn't try to help me, and then you said, hey, stop, you're hurting her too much. So now I've lost my wig, lost my ego, lost my pride, and now I have to go home.
They came into
no,
you.
you're getting the bus. I'm not giving you a lift home. I'm not jumping you up for that. You did nothing.
This is what I'm saying.
You didn't help me. You did nothing for me.
So from this
I'm back in the
person's
beef though.
perspective, right? Doesn't matter if they're in the right or the wrong. They're asking, hey, if this is the case, am I dropping them out? So you guys are saying yes, drop them out. Drop them out.
No, come on, man. The girls give you real proper advice, man. I honestly even consider it. I think if you speak to your friend and your friend is like, listen, everywhere we go, you always starting fights. I'll be honest with you, I stand with your friend. If you're always starting fights everywhere you go and you want people to back in your beef, bro, going out with you is a flipping
Liability.
It's a liability.
Somebody tricked me, and I asked them before I accepted the invite. I said I was invited, and he said, I'm not going to, I promise. And I go there, and they start on smoke right from the jump.
I'm leaving you there. I promise you. I promise you I'm leaving you. I will have no shame. I'm leaving you, and you will write a dilemma into asking for a friend, and I would say that yes, I left you. Because that's just a liability. You're just doing too much. I can't deal with that. I know everyone likes conflict. But I think speak to your friend, man. Ask them and be like, why did you not back my beef? Did the person tell you they were getting weighed in? Because did we add that?
Yeah, definitely I did.
We added, didn't
Definitely I
we?
did that.
Well,
They didn't say they were being beaten up.
I did.
exactly. That's what I said. There's
It
no
became a
nothing.
norm. I was thinking, I was even going to give them condolences for being beaten up like that. But yeah, man, we appreciate you. Big up
I
you.
wouldn't drop them out.
It's a daily listener. I feel like the person's probably listening at the
I
moment
beg
as
you
well.
give more context next time.
Yeah,
please.
we
Thank
need
you.
context.
I don't know how much context you guys need.
Are they in the wrong? Like, what was the run up to
yeah,
it?
it was
But that's why I
exactly.
said have a conversation with your friend, and your friend will let you know, hey, you were wrong. I don't back wrong people. Me, I do in public, but anyway. Thank you for writing in. We appreciate you. Don't forget everyone else, if you want to send dilemmas in, the number is 075 6484 1073. And let us know if it's asking for a friend. Sis, what would you do? If you want to email, the email is thedayafter@thenewblack.com, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, thedayafter@thenewblack.com. But let's get into our last headlines.
All right, guys. So our next headline: a Swedish amusement park was engulfed in a terrifying inferno after a new water park attraction exploded this morning. Can you imagine?
A water park.
A water park. Yeah, man. Shocking footage showed the installation. There's a link at the bottom, Brandon, if you want to play it. But the shocking footage showed the installation at the Oceana Water World in Gothenburg ablaze as flames tore through the structure, sending a huge plume of thick, toxic black smoke trailing into the into the sky behind snow-covered houses. A fire prompted a mass evacuation of the area, with firefighters at a loss as to how the blaze was triggered, reporting they could not bring the flames under control. A witness said that the fire spread across the entire park and had melted a water slide, imagine, leaving just a steel structure. The rescue service said nobody had been reported missing following the explosion. Next headline, trigger warning on this one, and this is an update of a story from like last year where a guy by the name of Valdo Kalokane, who's a man who's suffering from schizophrenia, murdered 2 students and a caretaker in Nottingham. So the police watchdog has started an investigation into the force's contact with this guy, Valdo Kalokane, before he killed 3 people in Nottingham. Leicestershire police had referred him Leicestershire Police had referred itself to the IOPC after it emerged that the force was investigating a report Callocane had assaulted 2 colleagues on the 5th of May at a warehouse in Kegworth. The force said no one was seriously hurt and Callocane had reportedly been escorted off site by security before police arrived. The IOPC added that Nottinghamshire Police had also contacted the watchdog on the 30th of January concerning prior contact it had with Callocane dating back to 2020. It has emerged that officers from the force had not detained Callocane after an arrest warrant was issued in September 2022 over the alleged assault of a police officer in 2021. The warrant was still outstanding at the time of the killings. And the last headline, this is about RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Basically, he's apologized to relatives after a Super Bowl advert mirrored one broadcast by his uncle, JFK, his campaign in 1960. So Mr. Kennedy, who's an environmental lawyer and anti-vaccine activist, is running for president as an independent. The ad aired just before the Super Bowl halftime on Sunday. It included images of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. spliced into the original 1960 ad and a jaunty jingle that repeated the Kennedy surname 15 times in 30 seconds. The ad was made by American Values 2024 Political Action Committee, a super PAC. And super PACs are allowed to raise and spend an unlimited amount of money in support of political candidates but cannot coordinate with campaigns. So that particular spot costs $7 million. £5.5 million, according to American Values 2024 co-founder Tony Leons. And one donor to American Values 2024, Tim Mellon, has given the sum of £15 million. Long story short, people criticised what happened. They didn't like it, especially some of the cousins who criticised the advert and his whole stance on vaccine activism as well. So they weren't happy. He came out and he's apologised. And that's it pretty much. That's time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into the reaction.
All right. Only one thing happened yesterday, and this was the game between Crystal Palace and Chelsea, where Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Yeah, man. So Conor Gallagher scored twice as Chelsea came from behind to beat Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. The Blues dominated the opening period of the match, but it was Palace who took the lead, with Jefferson Lerma picking up the ball on the edge of the area and rifling the ball into the top corner. But obviously, Pochettino's side could not master a shot until the 45th minute as Palace looked to frustrate their opponents and pick up a much-needed win to ease the pressure on their manager, Roy Hodgson. However, it just took 2 minutes of the second half for the visitors to level the score as Gusto's cross was met by Gallagher and he smashed the ball past Henderson to level the scores. Chelsea pushed for a winner and Gallagher secured it in stoppage time with a neat first-time finish before Enzo Fernandez added a third with seconds remaining. And that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, just reminding people that Champions League is starting again. So the last 16 begins on Tuesday. Today, with the holders Man City away at Copenhagen. Arsenal also are the only other British club in action, hoping to reach the quarterfinals of Europe's Premier competition after a 14-year absence. I think Arsenal's playing tomorrow. But tonight, is Arsenal playing today? Yeah, tomorrow, I think. Copenhagen versus Man City and RB Leipzig versus Real Madrid. And that's it for the reaction, guys.
Thank you. Let's get into the outro. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Big up everyone I called or we spoke to today. Black Rob, Chijoke. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just do them. Yeah. Heather, for letting us about the Congo protests over the weekend. Big up all of you for chiming in the chat and everything like that. Please like the video. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that great stuff. It definitely does help us grow and it helps push our algorithm and puts us on other people's pages and stuff like that as well. So that's really, really helpful. Follow us on our social media platforms, The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. And if you've got dilemmas to send, the number is 075-6484-1073. We are live now on Discord as well, so check us out on there. The Day After. Is it Day After? Is it Day After TNB?
I think it's TNB.
Yeah, The Day After TNB. Yeah. And yeah, if you want to inquire about the show or feature on the show, same email address as for your dilemmas as well. TheDayAfter@thenewblack.com. Everyone have a great Pancake Day.
Oh,
Yes.
just before, just want to say, Arsenal are playing next week. It's just not tomorrow. Next week, Arsenal are playing
Okay.
against FC Porto. Yes.
Nice. All right, people. We'll see you guys here back tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.